Checking mics. Mics are being checked. Let's check them mics.
Pretty sure that should have been in... There we go. All right.
Let's get this party started, eh? You guys excited for some Danny action? Alright then everybody, put your hands together for Walcom S7.
Ah, let's give myself some hands up. There we go. All right, enough of that shenanery. How's everybody doing tonight? Nice to see you, Deadly. Nice to see you, Swamp Monster. Nice to see you, Eggman. Hello, Liam. Nice to see you, Hillbilly Brothers. We've got a very special guest tonight, as you probably are aware. We have the one and only Mac Danny Gunn. Everybody. Danny, can we hear you? Yeah, I think we can hear Danny. How's that going? He's currently messing with stuff. There's only so much we can do about that. But welcome to this very special Saturday night stream thing, and they're already saying they can't hear Danny. I can clearly see your audio. We cannot hear Danny. I can very plainly see your audio wavelength.
All right, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Talk to me, people. Mic check, mic check.
Okay, that might have been because I had studio mode on. Okay, it's a learning experience, everyone. I'm really sorry about that.
Okay, I'm not going to lose my mind over this. Just, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good.
All right. Seems like we're actually pretty good. Now we have everything, says David. Thank you very much. Again, this is all very new things to me. We're doing our best here to try to make this as entertaining as possible, and of course as informative as possible, because we have an absolutely legendary Nerf creator in our mix. Because Mac Danny Gunn is one half of the original Gun vs. Gun duo. He has been doing YouTube videos for something like 15 years and is one of the most accomplished creators on the platform, not only in just YouTube in general, but also in the Nerf space. And a lot of people probably realize this, Danny, but like, you do very different content from the most of us. You do the most obscene, just absolutely out of this world, balls to the wall action comedy skits using Nerf blasters as your medium.
Thank you for that intro. That's a lot of pressure. I feel like I don't know. I don't look at myself as all that, but I thank you. And you know what? It's a pleasure being part of this. I've been watching the stream for a while. Believe it or not, I think a lot of you guys have seen me comment in Walcom's stream in the past. I love your content too, so here we are connecting once again after we've done that epic video last summer. And by the way, for everybody, as we start the stream, I don't know if Walcom said it, but drop a like right now, man. Let's go. Let's get this done.
I am horrible at actually like talking about the kind of analytical stuff that we have to do as YouTubers that they force us to do because they got guns to our heads saying, hey, you need to make sure you get enough likes and stuff on this thing so more people will see that you're currently live, which is a lot of fun. I'm actually disappointed because I talked to, there was something in my Discord since I added this. My Discord has thousands of people in it, and very few of them apparently have seen our video together, which was very concerning because it was an awesome banger of a video.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, that video is doing really well. Like 700,000 views, and it's one of the better ones that I've done in the last couple of years, man. I'm really proud of that video, and um, it was a long day when we filmed that video, but overall, I mean, we talked about even doing another one, and I think we will. But yeah, that video, I'm proud of it, man. We banged that one out. That was a really good one.
I was really happy with that one because you had a whole-on script with everything ready to go, and I managed to sneak in a couple of things in there as we were shooting live that I think really, I don't think anything great is ever truly built by one person. It feels like every single time there's collaboration, when multiple ideas are thrown into a pot, it turns out so much sweeter.
For sure. And you know what? The stuff you did add, I liked it. I had a giggle when we were filming it, and I still enjoyed those moments. So I mean, that's the bet for me when I film. That's the improv stuff. The stuff that comes out during filming is the stuff that I really like the most, and I like rewatching it the most because it just comes out on the spot and it works the best. And it's sometimes probably the funniest moments as well in those videos. So those are the moments that I really like, man. So I'm glad it all worked out. And I mean, you did well aside from some of the heat stuff. I mean, it was really hot that day, man. That was crazy.
That was like the worst day we probably could have picked for filming.
Yeah.
Because it was horrible. Because there's no AC up here. I don't even think there's insulation anywhere up in here, which I would fix if I wasn't renting. But yeah, this is a horrible place to film during the summer. But we managed to pull it off, and for the next one, the space is actually clean. And and there's more room for shenanigans, so I've been doing a lot of reorganizing and cleaning and stuff like that. So
that's good. I know you weren't happy about that little corner where I ended up. I guess throughout the filming we ended up in that corner. You didn't like that, but to me it worked the best in terms of just filming it and being on each opposite side of each other. But anyways, yeah, I'm glad you did that. And yeah, that day was hot as hell. We were all sweaty at the end of it, so I'm glad we survived it somehow.
And let's not forget that BG was there too, keeping us in line.
Oh yeah, and
and tried to set some records on the Ridge Racer machine.
Of course, I know he's got to do his own things.
But it was fun. No, seriously, like I learned a lot. There he is. I knew he was around.
Yeah, of course he is.
No, I learned a ton from that shoot. I had just a blast, and that's why I'm very excited to have you on today, because I think we can all learn something from the legendary Mac Danny gun. And let's actually talk about, like, you can talk about as little or as much as you want about your YouTube background, but if you want to just kind of jump into where the Mac Danny gun channel is from the beginning till now, if you want.
Well, as far as Mac Danny gun, man, that was supposed to be really just like a secondary channel to Gunver's Gun, and that was supposed to be just kind of like an additional content, behind the scenes stuff. When I do have time, I would put it on there, and that was really the gist of that channel in the kind of initial phase of it, in the starting phase of it. And I kind of did try to do at least one video a month back then, in terms of just behind the scene stuff with myself and Tommy during the Gunver's Gun days. And then the COVID hit. I mean, and that's really what the channel was about. I did spend a few years on it doing like strictly vlogs and doing some stuff, around the house too. And that really never picked up. But then during the COVID, I kind of switched it to a gaming channel. Believe it or not, like the history of this channel is really shaky. Like it was, and at that stage it was hovering around like 120,000 subscribers, not even that much, somewhere around there. And I was getting basically a couple subscribers a day if. And so like, yeah, the COVID stuff, we tried to do some gaming because that's the only thing we were able to do. And I really wasn't into, I don't know, I guess even Tommy wasn't around as much just because of COVID and all this stuff. So the Nerf stuff, the blaster stuff took a side to everything else I was trying to do. And I guess BG was into gaming, and my other son YG, that we call him, Young Gun, they were into gaming, so we started doing Warzone stuff on here for like a year and a half well, I say on here, but on YouTube. I mean on YouTube, on this Mac Danny Gun channel. So that's what I was doing, man, until I saw that shorts are being introduced,
and that's what started it all.
And you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
It's similar to the content you were kind of already doing on Gun vs. Gun, so
It's similar, and you know what? It just worked out that I actually opened up a TikTok account during the COVID. I never had a TikTok account, nor was I interested that much in TikTok and other social media stuff aside from Instagram. So I opened TikTok, and I think it was mainly because you probably remember that. I don't know if you were part of that, but there was like X-Shot had some contests, and it was like, yeah, they would send you a blaster, and they're like, oh, post or do something about it or whatever. They had like as well a video contest as well, but it was all on TikTok.
I don't think I ever did one of those, and I think they did send me a couple of the blasters. Yeah.
Oh,
I feel a little bad about that one.
Okay, I've done stuff like that before too, so that's fine. It's all good. But no, so I did a couple. I had to open up TikTok basically for that, and so I've done a few videos on TikTok for X-Shot, right? And I think they were trying to push their channel on TikTok as well. So that was kind of the start of like creating shorts, or at least at the time it was like, I would call them a TikTok videos. Obviously they were under a minute. So same thing on YouTube now, right? So I've done that, and I actually won when X-Shot had a film like a short video contest. I won that, and I think I won like $1,000 back then.
Holy crap! Well, that's kind of cool.
COVID. And that was BG. Was that for the Home Alone video? Yeah. So we did a X-Shot Home Alone style video where we just use X-Shot blasters, and that's the one that won the contest. So that's kind of, and that's how I was like, okay, I can do these shorts. And I'm like you said, I'm like, I can just incorporate gun stuff into a short format and get that going on my Mac Danny Gun channel. So why not? So that's really how it all started.
And now you're millions of subscribers. It's like every single time I actually look at your page, you jump up another 200,000 or 300,000. It's insane the amount of growth you've been seeing doing YouTube Shorts.
Well,
but importantly enough, you've actually been getting growth off of YouTube Shorts as well, which is not something I usually see from Shorts-only creators.
It's it's helping in terms of, it helped for subscribers for sure. And we talked about it recently. I mean, it'll help with some of the long format videos, at least some of them in the last 6 months or so. I don't see it as much. Like, I'll still post stuff, and it'll surprise me how bad it's doing, and based on like how many subscribers I have. And a lot of the audience is really shorts audience, and they don't even want long format videos. It seems like.
Yeah, I think YouTube now actually tells you, like, this meant how many of your current subscribers watch your full length and watches your shorts. They give you, like, a little meter for both now, which for me is obviously, like, none of my current viewers watch shorts at all. But then again, when I post a short, it still gets pretty good views from what I've been seeing, and I've only ever done, like, 7 of them.
Yeah, I really liked their last one, man. That was pretty good, so...
I can see how YouTube Shorts could be utilized. The problem is I have to make the content that would fit a YouTube Short style, which the opening we did with the musket one was really good, in my opinion, for a YouTube Short. So we go ahead and, like, it took me, I think, like 3-4 hours to edit all the footage we did into that shorter video. And then I realized you can only upload a minute maximum as a YouTube Short. So I had to sit there and kind of cut it down a little bit more and make sure it flowed all well, add on all the sound effects and stuff like that. But that was like, oh, okay, so that's the kind of content that needs to be YouTube Short, I guess, because that would automatically recommend people to my longer video. Not that I've seen very much pickup from that. And have you been doing that? Like, have you been taking longer videos and making YouTube Shorts out of them and then using that to advertise the longer form video?
Yeah, of course. I've started doing that, and you know, they did introduce that recently, where you can add a related video to the Shorts video. And so I would tag those. I would tag the most recent videos, long format videos, to my most recent shorts as well. But then I would also go into the long format video and just edit whatever, a 30-second clip out of it, and you know, the most funniest or whatever it is that I feel like the clip would work in a short format, and just edit that out of it. And then that kind of shows you what the video is about, or at least to the shorts audience. And then if they're interested, it would push them over to the long format video. So it just seems like, obviously, it's what audiences want to see. If they're interested in it, they'll click at it. They'll find the long format as well if they're interested in watching it, right? So I also see, like, you know, I see what they want to see. They want to see the old Gun vs. Gun stuff, the Nerf Force stuff, they don't want to see as much as my vlogs, as much as, you know, unless it's some kind of a crazy mod or something like that. Like the X-Shot, the buggy or whatever we did, the Jeep that I modded. I mean, that one did well.
Oh yeah, no, that one did really well. Real quick, Homely tipped $3. It says, while you're here, leave a like on the stream and remember to use WalcomS7.com to donate. Thank you very much for that one, Homely.
We got a donation!
Homely is an absolute gentleman. He's my other father figure. He's been here since like the very beginning. He's been supporting me for a very, very long time. So I'm glad to see him here in the chat.
Awesome.
I'm going to actually look at the chat for a little bit because we got quite a few people in here. We got Spencer Rivet. Hi, Walcom. Been a huge fan for such a long time. My favorite video was when you reviewed the NERF Mega Sniper. Have you gotten your hands on like that NERF Fortnite, like basically Barrett 50 cal?
Fortnite. I think so. I think
it's
we have
the big red blaster.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's one of the better things NERF has ever made, because while it still looks like I sat on a Barrett 50 cal and then ran it over with a truck, it seriously is like whenever you hold that thing and you look at it from afar, it's like, that's what I want from a big NERF blaster. It's amazing in that regard.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that one in the store, I like the size of it. I'm trying to locate it here, see if I can spot it off the top. I don't see it here. But yeah, I agree with that. I like the size. That's one thing that always kind of like catches my eyes, like those kind of bigger blasters. And I'm actually surprised you brought that one up, that you like it recently, because like recently there hasn't been too many things. I mean, we can go back in the last few years even. There's just nothing, man. I'm just like, what? Everything that I've seen that's really good that you've shown is really 3D printed and like third party, right? It's not off of Hasbro.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool 3D printed stuff, and I got, you know, the high-end bamboo printer, so I'm trying to print out as many stuff as possible. I'm probably going to do more streams, so I have more excuse to, like, sit here and put stuff together. I made, like, a whole streaming setup for working at a workbench. The problem is that it still is, like, 42 degrees here most days. I mean, you live just a couple hours north of me, so you know what it's like.
Same, man. The weather's not any different out here, and I'm not a fan of it at all!
Yeah, and up here, when it's not summer, it's super freaking cold, so it doesn't exactly work well. What else we got? Hawkeye says even he has one. So that Mega Sniper from Fortnite.
Where's that Mega Sniper, bro?
It's seriously one of the better things they've made. JB72 says, I got a Titan with a drum for $15 this week. JB, that is a freaking steal. That blaster sells for so much secondhand, so congratulations.
That is an insane deal. Yeah, get as many as you can for that price.
Vesic says, hey, Walcom, did you get a Mirage yet? Now, Danny, do you know what the Nerf rival Mirage is?
You know, I was going to ask you about that because I have seen some of the, if that's the one, yeah, that's the exact one that, yeah. I'm excited about that design. I like it, but I was going to ask you about it to get your thoughts on it. And I don't know the release date or anything like that, but I did see some of the leaked images of it.
So the Mirage is one that I'm actually probably more excited for than the Nerf Rival Challenger. I don't have one, and a lot of people have been given a stink about it because of like the rear prime on a thumbhole stock for a Springer that has a mag and grip. Right. I still think it's going to be a fantastic blaster. Ether, I don't think they're in the chat right now, but they're actually mailing me one because it did show up at Mayer, something like that. It's like more of an East Coast, a Middle East Coast kind of thing. They have them on store shelves. They've had them on store shelves for like a week, so I'm getting sent one. By the time it shows up, it'll probably be on store shelves around us. When it will hit Canada, I have absolutely no idea. That's the problem. Well, you did get the double punch before pretty much everyone, and mailed me one. And that is one of the best things Nerf has ever made.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I forgot about that one recently. That's most recent blaster that we can talk about, that it's actually decent. As far as like the Challenger, I had to go like across the border to get that. I haven't seen it in like actual regular Walmarts here. We were just at Toys R Us, the one that the new location that we found, and they didn't have it there either. So we still don't have it, by the way. And you know, it took me a while to get it, and I was like, okay, we're never gonna get it here. I might as well go across the border, and I got it there. And then when I did get it, people are like, oh, we all have it already. What the hell is this? I'm like, well, we don't have that stuff here in Canada, man. So it's still not available here, by the way. So yeah, go figure.
Vesic also just said that he thinks that the double punch seemed like it was forgotten, and I kind of agree with that. I don't think Nerf realizes quite yet that while they don't, legally like us modifying their blasters, when they do let us modify their blasters and they build their blasters in a way that they can still be modified, they'll get more sales, and the blaster will last longer and be relevant for longer, because if you could easily modify like the double punch, it would be so much more appealing. But since it's so hard to modify, nobody is picking them up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, the problem is like they've been on a bad streak, so when they do release something that's half decent, I guess it gets forgotten rather quickly, just because like we need more of that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Challenger, I was pumped about it when I got it. Like I still don't know how I feel about that blaster. Like I feel like I'm kind of split whether I do like it, I don't. I don't know what your thoughts are on it overall now that you've had it for a while.
I love it. If I had to go to like a stock Nerf war, I would 100% use that over pretty much anything. In terms of being a flywheeler, it is, in my opinion, the most practical flywheeler we've ever gotten. It is a little annoying if you only want to shoot one dart, that you have to squeeze the trigger and hold it until you have another target you want to hit and then let go of the trigger. That's a little finicky, but I don't think that's very hard for you to overcome. And with the fact that you could just spam the trigger and just get, it's like the fastest shooting things we can get. Like, a Coop won't do it because he's kind of not doing it anymore. Actually, maybe he did. Like a 430 dart challenge with the Nerf double punch would be phenomenal. I think that I have enough magazines and darts. I should probably just film that soon. Because the double punch is
don't bring back Coop into this, because now people are going to start talking about, when we try to stop that conversation. He's done. Let's move on, man. So
I just want people to remember,
think we should do it.
Coop left you. You didn't leave Coop. Remember him fondly, but hold him to that, because he should still be here making videos. He abandoned you.
Exactly. And so let's move on now with what we have, and that's why I feel like you should take that on, man. Just do that challenge. Why not? Like, he's gone, like that. Someone's got to pick that up. Someone will, and so you don't want anyone else to jump on it. You're doing it, so you might as well do all that stuff that he was doing. Why not? He left the game on his own.
I think it'd be a fun video to shoot. Yeah, so maybe we should do that.
Do it.
I'll have to dig out a couple of. I'm pretty sure I have enough 18 rounders to fill 430 darts.
Let me ask you a question now that, because that's a rival blaster. Has there been? I thought I saw that in the past, but I can't. Was there ever a rival drum? Am I wrong? I thought there was, but I was like, no, I can't find any.
Yeah, so there was supposed to be a Helios. That was the bolt action thing that was basically a reshell of the Nerf rival Apollo. The Helios was going to come out in that yellow-green variant called Team Edge or Edge Team or something like that. That sounded really weird out of context. But they were supposed to have a blaster, that one that came with like a helical spinning drum. And it was like the most exciting thing. And then it never happened. But it was actually a thing that Hasbro tried to produce, because there is a couple of prototypes out there. I've seen them, and it didn't work, but it was a really neat idea. And that's, I guess, why it never happened. It was like they got far enough to do like the machining, and they produced a couple of prototypes, and it didn't work, and they shelved it.
I see. Okay. Because the other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, I was certain I saw either an image or a video or something somewhere a couple of years ago, and I'm like, where this never came out. I'm like, why? But I guess maybe they'll start producing it again. I don't know. Maybe somewhere wrong. They just stopped the production. Who knows?
You would hope so. Man, like you've been kind of bringing this harder the last couple of minutes, and you did talk about how there's really not been a whole lot of good Nerf in the last like 2-3 years. It's all kind of Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox garbage.
Dino Squad crap.
You want to talk? Oh yeah, no, I hate Dino Squad too. I know there are some people who enjoy it. I'm not one of them, because I think most of Dino Squad is just terrible reshells. I do like the Triceratops blaster because it's really cool looking and it's comfy and it spins really well. But it's like, it's a break action that you load 3 darts and you don't even need the break. I hate how Hasbro keeps doing it. But it's a hammer action.
Right.
So it makes it automatically a little more unique than all of the other ones. But yeah, it's like, how's your feeling on the current state of NERF?
Current state of NERF is it's disastrous. It's beyond like not good. It's just terrible, man. They all, I mean, we talked about it. I feel like they are on this cash grab path in terms of just dishing out stuff from video games that kind of quickly sells. But as far as like the hardcore nerfers, the people that really enjoy this stuff and they want to see something cool, something like useful, something that at least in the past they've had some of these cool guns and blasters, but it's like now, like I said, everything that's half decent, it gets lost in the mix because it's just a bad streak of garbage, man. Roblox, Fortnite, Dino's crap, what else? Like you said, all this stuff.
I like
man.
Dino crap. That's a pretty good one.
It's just terrible, man. It's laughable. The problem is, I feel like they're still making money off that stuff, and kids are buying it, and they're not stopping. And yet, they're not focusing on other things that they should be.
Well, so far this year, we've seen 0 Roblox, 0 Fortnite, 0 Minecraft. It's been just NERF releases. There's NERF Gelfire and NERF Rival, and there was a couple of that NERF Zombie thing, which none of these blasters so far have been outstanding. The Challenger's pretty okay, in my opinion. The Mirage looks pretty fun. They're not completely new designs or anything like that, but we have a lot of leaks, and none of the leaks are NERF Fortnite, Minecraft, anything. We have not seen any of that this year.
That's huge, and thank you, NERF. I mean, that's the way we should be rolling with. Like going forward is just give us the good quality product, and the kids and everybody will still buy it if it's actually good. Like it doesn't like most of the stuff that I'm not knocking this stuff because it's out of a video game. The problem is the blasters are bad. They're terrible. That's the problem.
I agree. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you. If you like these blasters, we're not saying you're a bad person for liking them. And
right.
I understand the appeal of like, here's the thing from a video game, here's the real life version. But I feel like NERF should have went in the reverse. They should have made things that are way better, that are like, they want to put that in a video game. Because I even fell into this when I was playing like the NERF Mobile like Super Blast game. I played that for a while. And I was like, man, the NERF Ultra in this game is really good, and it made me want to use a NERF Ultra in real life. So NERF is really struggling on making like a good video game to capture that, because like instead of adding their own stuff, like adding other people's stuff to NERF, they should be adding their own stuff to games, like kind of how they did like the Halo skins and stuff like that.
I agree. I mean, it's that simple, and it's I just like. It's the money, man. The money ruins everybody. Oh, how can we grab as much money as we can? Let's just develop all this garbage and push it out, and it looks cool. I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, I understand, like, if I was younger and I was into those video games and there's an actual real-life blaster that you can buy and have it added to your collection, yes, I understand that, right? But to actually use those in a NERF war or anywhere else, you're going to get laughed at, and I would not even recommend using any of those. It's just terrible, man. Aside maybe from that other one that you mentioned earlier.
I see a comment from A. It says, oh my god, the tie-in blasters have been terrible. Like the Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff is so stupid. Just make cool stuff without the goofy shell. Which is funny that they say that, because those are just reskins of existing blasters. It really is a shame, though, that they chose like those properties. Hasbro is doing this really lackluster job of taking their original, like, intellectual properties that they own of, like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja. They own the IP, like the toy IPs for those. They have for a very long time. And then they don't really do anything unique with them. Ever. They really don't do anything special other than, like, here's a reshell or here's a skin on an existing blaster. They did a couple of, like, things for G.I. Joe, which isn't exactly my jam, but they do a decent, okay job of doing the skins, but it's always on, like, the worst possible blasters, and I never understood that.
Yeah, and I kept trying to think what the hell is the problem with them, and I feel like you mentioned some of this stuff. Maybe during this last few years, I don't know, maybe they're focused on other things, like They did try to do a few other things. Maybe their focus is not strictly on this stuff at the moment, and that's the problem.
Oh, well, they've lost billions of dollars, so...
And,
I mean, I hate to say it, their stock is like...
I know.
It's not good right now.
And I mean, it's obvious, because I mean, you can see it. There's nothing. So that's obvious why. So, again, like, if you guys haven't seen my recent video, I went to Toys R Us, and that place is really filled with just Dino Squad blasters.
Yeah.
That's kind of the gist of the majority, like 70% of blasters is that stuff. So that tells you, like, okay, well, they have nothing else to put in the store. It's just that right now.
Which is, I would do dirty things. Like, they had the big darts hanging from the ceiling and that Nerf HQ lit up sign. I would do dirty things to a Toys R Us store manager to get my hands on that. Like, you need to go, like, make friends with the owner of that Toys R Us.
Yeah, I must admit, that was cool. The one that the Toys R Us that shut down by my house did not have that. And that, when we got in there first, I thought that was quite impressive. So the setup is really cool, actually, in there.
But
really you're right. We should try to get that.
I never tried to get the signage from some other places, like, before they, like, got rid of it. Like, Walmart used to have these massive displays with, like, blasters bolted onto the display. Like, where did all that stuff go? I would love to get my hands on that.
That would be cool. And you know what? That's I should put a reminder, because you never know. This next location might be shutting down soon too, and I should talk to someone when they do shut down, like, sell me this stuff, man, so we can keep it.
Yeah, as long as they don't try to make you pay eBay prices for that kind of stuff. But that's my next holy grail to try to get my hands on, is that kind of display stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that I didn't focus on that more back in the past, but it's like, I need to start putting up eBay searches for that kind of stuff, and hopefully I can get it for a good price, because I have, like, the one Nerf Zombie Strike sign, and that's it. I think I have a display for, like, the Rebel and the Nerf McDonald's stuff. It's like the cardboard insert with all the blasters, like, you know, stuck to it. It's really cool. Stuff's really hard to store, so they're not in great condition, but...
Yeah, and you know what? As far as I'm concerned, like, Hasbro was never, and I've obviously told you this, but I've never been. There was zero contact between Gunner's Gun, myself, and Hasbro at any point in the last 10 years, more than that. So I never got anything from them. Definitely, I was in talks in X-Shot and Zura and stuff, but and Dart Zone Pro as well. But nobody from Hasbro has ever reached out to any of my team members and people that I know from the Gunner's Gun side. So that's the funny part. And so I can't even say that, you know, I got nothing out of them. So I
feel like Nerf takes itself way too seriously. Like, they're really stuck on some kind of family-friendly image when they don't need to be. Like, if you just have Nerf be Nerf, like, in my opinion, there's nothing inherently wrong with your guys' content that is like, Nerf shouldn't collaborate with you, because how many other massive channels and movies use Nerf blasters as well, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, they can still be like PG-13, you know, somewhat violent and stuff like that. People know it's not real, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, man. I feel like, number one, a lot of people took Gunner's Gun stuff too serious, and at the same time, they didn't understand the way I looked at Gunner's Gun. And the way I looked at it is like, when you're having a Nerf war with your buddy or a brother or whatever, a friend, and you're blasting back and forth with each other, you're in your head, it's almost like a movie, right? You're almost in a real battle. Like, it is a actual toy gun, right? Are we gonna, like, deny that too? It's not like a freaking a doll, right? It is a gun, signifying a blaster is a gun, right? It's a toy gun.
There's a whole anime called Survival Game Club, Sabagebu, where the girls they play with airsoft. And obviously those are hyper realistic, but whenever they start shooting each other and, like, they act like they just got shot, like blood splatter and stuff, like bright pink blood, stuff like that. And there's always an announcer that says, this is what the girls see inside their head, like, kind of thing. So they always make that distinction, because otherwise it's ridiculous. But if you've seen... Go on.
That's the gist of the whole Gunner's Gun. What I'm trying to say is, like, when you're having a battle with your friend with Nerf guns, in your head, you're like, oh, we were shooting at each other in real life, almost like you're thinking in your head, this is like a real kind of thing. And so we're trying to portray that in Gunner's Gun episode. And obviously, when whoever loses the Nerf war in real life, you think you defeated them. And so when I defeated Tommy and when he defeated me, obviously, how would you portray that? He's dead, so he dies in that episode. But we're all back up on the next one. So I mean, come on, man.
Well, people got some wild imaginations and stuff like that.
Of course.
So maybe some people take it a little too seriously, but I think like Nerf overall, like they've been doing some really shady stuff. I don't get it, but like I said, this year it seems like they might have figured out that they need to invest more in their intellectual property other than advertise other people's. Because once Fortnite stops being popular, once Minecraft, which was never a good series for Nerf to begin with, stops being popular, what do they have back to lean on? They have their kids that have, you gotta talk, they've been doing mostly Nerf Fortnite Roblox stuff for like the last 3-4 years. So when kids look at Nerf today, when they were 6, 7, 8, they don't even really probably know that Nerf used to make really good stuff. They have no clue. And that's just, I don't understand why Nerf never figured that would backfire, because I feel like, I don't know their exact sales or anything. I don't think anybody knows right now, but they have to be at the lowest they've ever been. I don't know.
For
it
sure.
feels terrible.
I think so too. They have to be, because it's a shame, and they did it to themselves. And a lot of the stuff is like, I mean, even in the past, they've just done it. They've done things the wrong way. I feel like we've talked about X-Shot recently, where they did what they had to do in terms of like contacting the correct creators and sending them these blasters ahead of time and getting them to review them and show them to the audience, which is the core audience that they have on YouTube and all this stuff. And like I said, if Hasbro or Nerf never contacted Gun vs. Gun in the first place in the last 10 years. And obviously they ignored us in the last few years, myself as well. They're not doing the things right. So I mean, they don't even have to they can say, hey, here's some stuff under the table. Don't say you're associated with us, but here's like some stuff ahead of time so you can show it to your audience. Because
can you imagine what would have happened had they done like, oh, we're going to send Danny these blasters early and they're just going to show up in a random Gun vs. Gun episode, and that would have gotten millions of views, and people would be like, what's the new, and you guys could have like found it in the back of a truck or something like that and fought over it or something. And it's like, oh, we got this rare unreleased Nerf blaster and it's super powerful. And like, that would have been a skit for an entire video, Hasbro. That would have gotten millions of freaking views. You absolute mongoloids. Like, I just don't get it.
And so this kind of ties into like other things. Like, so this is why Gun vs. Gun, we were kind of, the story with myself and Sophie out there in Blaster Battle, the first one that I went over to in LA, right? This kind of ties into like how we were more in like,
that's where we met.
Yeah, I mean, that you're right. But this is more like, this is why we were kind of in a clash with other creators on YouTube, because we felt like Hasbro is sending them this stuff ahead of time and they're cool with them, but they don't completely ignore us. They never contacted us. So this was this like kind of friction between ourselves and other creators, which shouldn't have been there. But I feel like they started that in terms of Hasbro and Nerf, because they ignored us totally. And we were top Nerf creators at the time on YouTube, man. We held that for like 7-8 years on YouTube. So for them not contacting us and not sending us this stuff ahead of time, and we seeing like Coop or whoever else having this blaster 2 months ahead of time before it's even in stores, it was terrible, and it was just pissing us off. But I mean, it is what it is, man. That's past. I mean, that's just sad. And
yeah, they could have done an whole entire, Gun vs. Gun line or something like that. You guys made physical props for videos that look like Nerf things that could have been actual products that would have made them. You have like a quad missile launcher thing that it doesn't look like a military one. It looks like if Nerf made a quad missile launcher thing, and it was perfect. One of your recent videos, you had a gigantic Nerf like Grimlock. Like, do you have a background in 3D art or something? I've been meaning to ask you about this because it's been driving me nuts how good your like 3D stuff is.
I don't have a background that. I have a background in watching like a whole bunch of 80s, 90s action movies and all that. So the quad launcher, if you guys look up Commando, the movie from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's where that came from. And I had that idea for like probably in the last 6, 7, 8 years, man. And I just kind of got to it in the last year to kind of create that and make it look like a Nerf blaster or whatever, quad rocket, right? So the idea stemmed from that image, from that movie, really. And
so,
and
like, how
yeah,
do you do like the gigantic, like, you know, Godzilla Nerf thing? Like, how did that happen?
Well, the way it happened is the same kind of thing. I was thinking, okay, so what would I want to see? Because again, like Nerf stuff was cool, but it wasn't like that eye-catching in terms of like, you know, what would I want to see if I'm searching on YouTube? What kind of stuff would I click on? What kind of blasters would I want to see and want to watch? And it would be always these bigger things that I've seen in the action movies in the past. So it's kind of like, okay, let's just build something that looks cool, that still looks like Nerf. But again, that's something that actually, if Nerf was smart enough and Hasbro, they'd be like, oh shit, this looks pretty cool. Let's use this and create something this very similar, right?
So you made that model? That was something you made?
Well, which one are you specifically talking about? Most of them I made, yeah.
So in a recent short, you had a gigantic
Oh,
mechanized.
No. That huge one.
I was like,
no.
Like, dude, like you had to have like a background in like 3D design or something.
I told them what to create and what to do and how I wanted it to look like, but no, that was not.
Okay, they did a really good job. Do you actually so you paid somebody? So do you have that model, or did they animate it and stuff for you too?
I have that model. It's a 3D model, so I can use it if I want it somewhere else. So I mean, it's and they make it look actually quite real, man. So I'm pumped about. I really like the way these people I'm in touch with are moving towards and like making it really, really cool looking. And so, it's just I wanted to see something like that, and that idea for that one came out of that movie Mask, right? So that's another movie that I kind of really liked when I was growing up, from Jim Carrey. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen The Mask and the cartoon. I don't think I've seen The Mask 2 though.
No, don't watch this. So that's where it came from, and I'm like, let's make this Nerf, man. It'd be awesome. Like, let's just do it. So yeah, I see a comment here. PDK Films. Yeah. I mean, PDK Films. I mean, he's been around. We know him as well at the Blaster Battles.
Yeah, no, I've hung out with Paul and his brother.
But so that reminds me, let me just finish that conversation with Sophie. So what happened is, same thing. She was kind of in the middle of this. Like I've seen her quite a lot of times online and promoting Nerf stuff. And again, I told her, I'm like, the beef that we had, I know I've made some comments towards her. I know exactly what comments I wrote online. But that beef and that, I guess you would call it anger, was not towards her. It was really towards Nerf and Hasbro, because they incorporated her and sent her stuff, which is not her fault at all. But they, again, completely ignored us. And so there was that friction all the time. And I told that it was never personal, never against her directly. It was just really Hasbro that created that whole mess back in the day.
I mean, I kind of get how you feel, because the Dart Zone, what is it? The X stuff, the Dart Zone Nexus X and Aeon X, which they've been announced a long time ago. They've sent a couple to some, like, I think like blastertime.eu, or like they have sent samples out to people. People have done videos, but like here we are like a week before they hit the Walmart shelves. It's like they haven't said anything to me. So I'm going to have to try to hunt both of those blasters down to do a video on them, when it's like they should have sent me one 2 weeks ago, maybe. Like I just don't get why these companies, it's not like I haven't gotten, hundreds of thousands of views off Dart Zone stuff. I really don't get why these companies snub us like that, because like they paid me to do a video on the Mark IV, and like I hunted down a Dart Zone Solo and bought one of those. They never contacted me. I have their Scar Barrel kit, their muzzles that they came out with recently they come on the Nexus X and the Aeon Pro X, which is cool. It's really awesome they did that. And I was working on a video, but I'm like, the blasters come out so soon, there's probably not a point in me doing a standalone video on these things right now. But like, they don't even contact me. And I never understood why that is.
I mean, that's sad, because I mean, that's your audience. That's what you do. That's like you said, it's basically free promotion for them. So why would they not do that? It makes no sense.
Don't even ask money most of the, actually, They offered to pay me for a video. I've never asked money. All I ask is like the product like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time. I don't care if they like send it to everybody and have like a like a release date, like where you can't upload the video until X date at 10 a.m. or something like that. Right. I'm fine with all that, but like, yeah, they don't really seem to do that. And then it's like, okay, well, I have to go out and hunt down your product. They're like, well, he's going to buy it anyway and do a video. So, but it's like, come on, guys, like, throw me a little bit of a bone here. I heard, like, with X-Shot, I think we both had this problem with X-Shot where we tried to get, like, talking to them to send us stuff. And they're like, oh, no, we don't have it. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have it? It's like people found it on Target shelves in, you know, Missouri. Where is this blaster? And they're like, oh, we don't have it. It's like, what do you mean you don't have it? Like, you guys get your samples after they hit store shelves? Like, that doesn't make any freaking sense.
That did not make sense, man. That was weird. That was really weird to me too. Like, what? They didn't send us any of this stuff and suddenly it's in store?
Yeah, like, so for the Ragefire, I was like twice or 3 times a day, I'm on BrickSeek, like looking into their inventory, doing my absolute best to find this thing, which I used BrickSeek earlier, like I want to say like last stream or something like that. I tried to use BrickSeek and they required me to make an account. And even when I make an account, it doesn't find anything anymore. So I think the days of finding these blasters before street dates, I'm just going to have to rely on people finding the product in their own Target and then posting it on like Reddit or the Discord or something like that. And then going to my local Target and be like, hey, do you guys have this in the back? We used BrickSeek where we can get like the DPCI number that Target uses. And we can like walk up and ask somebody like, hey, like you could use their own computers they have on the wall and it will tell you that they have it in the back. And then you can ask somebody and they go get it for you. It's been really awesome for us. And now it seems like that day is completely over. And that's a freaking problem because now it's impossible for us to get this stuff. Like, we have to wait until it's been out on shelves for like a week. I was like, oh no. Or check our Walmarts and Targets every single day. Like, how exactly is... Just send us the blaster!
Yeah, I know, exactly, man. And the thing is, like, I like, creators like yourself and others on YouTube like that do this kind of content, it should be an automatic. Just send it to them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was working there, like, just send it to them. Like, let them ahead of time, get them to get some hype going for these products. And it's simple as that, man. And it works because that's the audience. That's the kids that are interested in these things will watch these channels on YouTube, right? So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. The problem is the problem is they like their recent gel blaster line stuff. The first stuff they've done is they spent probably millions and millions of dollars getting a contract with Mr. Beast, right? And his audience does not give a shit about these products. So, I mean, that's money wasted. Okay, I understand some of them will buy it, but that's not your audience, Nerf. Like,
I don't have one.
I would love to know that contract because that cost them a lot of money. And I know, like, I follow NBA, and I don't know if you know the guy from Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. He got a contract with them too. Like he's sponsoring Hasbro and Nerf because he's had one commercial with them too, which was very bad. But it's like, who the hell cares about, like, if he's promoting Hasbro? Like, he's an NBA guy. Like, you know, so they're wasting their money on different things, which makes no sense what they're doing, these moves.
For the pro stuff, I honestly don't know why they don't contact us because that's all we've wanted Hasbro to do for like the last 5-6 years. So, like, obviously my audience is more tuned towards like performance and getting the most out of a blaster for like a more competitive, fun game, as opposed to like, you know, 8-year-olds shooting each other in the backyard with their Nerf stuff. And you use it for like more of a, like you do it for comedy skits and stuff like that. Although you do obviously like Nerf, but like, I don't remember how much you had in terms of like aftermarket, like custom blasters. I know you had a few. But
I have a few, and you know what? Those are awesome. I like them a lot. But it's like I am more. I like you said, I'm more of a hardcore Nerf Hasbro kind of stuff guy, and that's how it really started with us. And like we said, I'm. It's just sad that they don't have anything really good in the last few years. And I mean, I would love to keep it there with those kind of things. I do have like the one that you sent me. What was it? Rapid Strike?
Yeah,
right?
it was that modified Rapid Strike with the screen and stuff.
That kind of stuff, I really like that. That one's amazing. That's probably my best best blaster I have right now that I really like. I don't want it to get damaged or anything. I'm just keeping it here, and I really like that one.
Damage I can fix, so I wouldn't worry about that. And spoilers for those of you watching, I did sell Danny my SBF because I needed money, and you know, like, he doesn't have a brushless anything, and now he has like one of the best flywheelers you can get in the entire hobby.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get my hands on that.
It's sitting here waiting for you whenever you come down and we shoot another video.
Yeah, we are.
Again, Danny only lives like, what, like 3 hours from me? 4 hours? Something like that?
Yeah, roughly, let's say 3.5, let's say something.
Yeah, because you have to go like down and around and then up the Puget Sound to get to me, as opposed to just driving straight down and flying across the water.
Yeah, and I think when I went there the first time, the trip there, I took the ferry, and that was a mistake because I was waiting forever. But on the way back, we went around, and it actually was faster. So I think next time I come around, I'll go around and forget the ferry.
That's smart. I mean, the ferries are cool and all, but every single day I get a new news feed in my article. It's about how the ferries are dying and they're changing schedules and having all these problems with them because, God forbid, anything in Washington actually lasts a little while. Really bad about that.
I'm trying to read these comments. A lot of people, some of them are asking Gun vs. Gun. So let's just clear that. I guess people asking what happened with Gun vs. Gun. So here's basically what happened. YouTube happened, and they started changing some of their rules and ad policies and all this stuff. And I think towards the latter part of 2018-19, things started to take a really bad turn on YouTube. And so you couldn't even have a word. NERF Gun would actually pin a video down and flag it as if it's not family friendly and inappropriate kind of content. And so that really took a hit just based on those few little changes that YouTube did. And you know, our views started going down, and it wasn't just the views. I mean, we ended up getting one strike on our channel, which I never even heard of a creator getting a strike on their channel. Like, these days you can do whatever the hell you want. Even back then, nobody would get a strike, but we got a strike for actually it was Evil Spider-Man 2 video. So a lot of people probably remember seeing some of that, but that one's now gone. And we did re-upload it on because we tried another channel. It was called NERF Bros, and that never really picked up. And I think that video is available on there. And we uploaded that maybe a year and a half ago, and that worked now. So, but back in 2019, when we uploaded it originally on Gun vs. Gun, we got a strike on our channel for that. So that took us down in terms of just like, obviously then your views are suppressed and things started, even though YouTube says they're, you know, that has no impact on your overall channel, it does. And then obviously a lot of, like, I think over 20 videos got demonetized, and we had to change thumbnails because there was one. Some of them were like, okay, I admit some thumbnails were rather like I think I was holding Tommy's severed head in my hand in one thumbnail. It was like that chainsaw video.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, you can watch like the latest horror movie like trailer on YouTube. Like, there's no, like, a lot of people got on my case for, because I think I dropped an F-bomb in a video once. So many people got on my case like, oh, I can't have my son watching you anymore, blah, blah, blah. Like, Markiplier has started, I don't know how many videos just screaming the freaking F word, like, over and over and over again. Never got demonetized, never got audited by YouTube. He was their special boy in, like, every single thing. I never understood, like, the difference between that kind of stuff. And I know Markiplier, most of his audience are younger people. I don't know, man. Like, well, it's so hard.
They allowed, you know, those videos back in the day. I think they took all those channels down, but it was like Elsa, pregnant Elsa.
Oh, no!
Baby with a Spider-Man. Like, those things were fine, and there was, like, blood in those videos, too, and all this stuff. But, you know, they took us stuff. They basically that year and a half during that phase in YouTube where they were just lost their minds on there, that dinged Gun vs. Gun. Basically deflated us. Our income went down, and views as well, on top of all the subscriber stuff. And then during the same time, I think PDK really took off. Like, he's in the stratosphere with some of the subscriber stuff that he did. And so a lot of people navigated towards him, and we got pushed down. And so we kind of lost our edge, and then COVID hit, and that really kind of did it all. So that's really kind of the end. That was really the end of Gun vs. Gun and start of Mac Danny Gun. Really.
PDK does a little bit more like video gamey violence, and Gun vs. Gun was more like horror comedy skit, if that made sense. I can kind of see why his content would skate through and your guys' might get suppressed in that algorithm. I still think that if you guys just tone down the actual violence for more of like a Fortnite tier of violence, it would work. But I mean, that ship sailed. We all know it. Now it's like YouTube doesn't even want you to do short videos anymore unless it's an actual YouTube short, which is incredible because I got like a thing on TikTok like, hey, we want to introduce you to the TikTok 1 minute plus growth program and stuff like that, which I applied and then never did a single video because that happened right when I was super busy in October. And by the time I came back, it was like, well, I got like 2 weeks left of this program. I don't have time or energy to deal anything with this, so I'm just going to go forward. And then YouTube's still like, yeah, YouTube shorts 1 minute, like nothing more. It's weird. It's super weird.
It's so, I mean, the good thing is if you do TikTok stuff and you start doing some shorts on YouTube, basically you can just re-upload on TikTok, right? So that's kind of, you don't have to create anything
Not
new.
for long.
Oh, really? That's gonna...
Oh, they banned it in the US. I think they have like another 5 months to figure out what they're going to do with it. A lot of people are like, oh, they're just going to sell to Microsoft or something. But the problem is if they do that, then Microsoft will know exactly how much information TikTok has been gathering and selling to the, their Chinese overlords. So a lot of people are expecting TikTok to just sail into the sun. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen. But that bill did pass in the US. It's officially banned in the US. So it's like, why even bother with TikTok right now?
I did not know that. And here's the funny thing about TikTok. I have 1 million followers on TikTok.
Holy crap!
And in that time, because I'm on Canadian side of the border, I made $0 on TikTok for all those views and all those followers.
Instead of the $20 you would have made from what, like 400 million views a day or something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a joke.
Danny showed me his YouTube Studio app the last time we were hanging out together, and I was floored because he had hundreds of millions of views, and yet I made more money than him, and it makes no freaking sense whatsoever. I hate that.
That's the short story, man. That's why I started getting into the long format. I'm like, the only way to do it is survive, is to kind of make shorts, push people into the long format, and that's where the ads are and everything else. So. Oh, but we got to take all the nation out of here, man.
Doing your kind of content long form sucks. It's like, it's so much harder.
So here's the thing. I was telling you, I really like the last shorts you did. It's a nice, it's got a story to it. You're doing the voiceover and a lot of action, a lot of things happening. That's really how you should be doing it. But like you said, that kind of stuff is not simple and easy to do. You can't just do that like others in like 5-10 minutes, right?
So that short for us, I think, took about an hour and a half, 2 hours of planning, another 3 to 4 hours of filming, and there was a lot of stuff that didn't make it into the video that should have been, simply because of constraints and like making the video flow. And then probably the worst part was the editing, because I think, like I said, I did most of the bulk of the editing in about 3 hours, and then the 4th hour was like tightening everything up, and then I had to take that exact same stuff and crop it into portrait mode and add the subtitles and stuff. So I think I was about 5.5 hours deep on that entire short to do both of them, for both the original video and the short format. And I mean, it's not like it didn't do bad. I thought it would do pretty okay as a short, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's getting consistent views. It's also eclipsing everything else I've ever uploaded in the past like 3 months, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I think I checked it, like, no joke, if people want to know. It has like 50,000 views. It's made like $6. YouTube shorts don't make money.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like when YouTube, so the real reason why this channel really took off is like I knew shorts was a big thing on YouTube, and so I dedicated all my time to make. I said I'm gonna make when the shorts came out on YouTube. I said I'm gonna, and they weren't paying at the time. There was no ads at all. So that first year was nothing. But I knew it was going to be something. So I was like, all right, I'm going to dedicate, basically, I'm going to upload one short video a day for basically, it was a full year. So that's really what happened. And that's how really the channel took off. And I kind of solidified myself in that niche now in terms of shorts and Nerf stuff and blasters because of that. But again, that whole year was done. Like, I made no money. There was no ads back then either. And even now, like you've seen, so I mean, and I've told you when we first met, that was my kind of gamble. And I was like, I know ads are coming for this. I will do this and see what happens. The problem is I didn't anticipate that it's gonna be such low pay for the shorts as well. So that's the problem at the moment. But I mean, it is what it is.
And it sucks because it's not that I wouldn't do them just for fun anyway. But it's like I also don't want to just regurgitate like my full length content into a shorts feed. I'd rather make unique shorts feed content because like. I don't know how many channels I've seen come out of nowhere that just do YouTube shorts and like, oh, they already passed me in subscribers. But then they try making full-length videos and they can't even break like 5-6K. Like, that's been really common. And that's what I first looked at your channel. That's how your channel was. And I noticed that like every single channel that did long form content and then did shorts, like they weren't really doing many shorts, and most of the shorts channels weren't doing long form content, and most channels like Mr. Beast and stuff like that were just making separate channels for shorts, and it was like trying to figure out what's going on. However, for any YouTube creator out there, I have noticed this. Since I uploaded that short, and I do pay attention because I look at my YouTube Studio app like multiple times a day, which is really unhealthy for you, and I try not to. I deleted it for a couple of months there, but I noticed that most of my comments recently on other videos, even older videos, are from people I've never seen before. And I think that's because of the YouTube short. And when I check on videos right now and I go to like what audience is engaging them, it's new people, like a huge spike in new people. So they do work for advertising your old content. I think it gets sucked into people's like not subscription feeds, but like their
recommended
if they do watch full-length content on YouTube. I think that's what's going on. So
for sure, and it's almost, I feel like they're treating it as a separate platform completely. And like even now they came out with the horizontal live streams that you can do, right?
Oh yeah,
those will appear on the shorts feed. So that's the angle for those, right? So you can promote them and push them into the shorts side as well.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I watched some guy. He kept showing me this one dude over and over. He was like trying to catch a shiny Bulbasaur in Pokemon. And I watched like over a couple of days where it's like his number of attempts resetting to get this shiny Bulbasaur kept going up and up. And then one time I checked on him, he had the shiny Bulbasaur, now he was catching other shinies. And I was like, well, what the heck? Like, this is kind of cool. I actually have to watch the guy stream to see his progress. That's kind of neat. How would the money on like that work though? If shorts payments are already so low, and I know for a fact from YouTube streaming, they don't really pay you a whole lot for streams either, so...
No, and here's what you said, like Mr. Beast has a separate channel for shorts. He's smart. He knows, because the thing is, I already told you that if you push now too many shorts on your actual channel, it'll mess up the watch time and everything else on your long format videos. So you don't want to do too many, but you want to sprinkle some in. So if you want to, like you said, if you want to expose yourself to new subscribers and new audience, which is on the short side, right?
So there's that. Expose yourself.
Yeah. So I mean,
you're right though. You're right.
He's making separate ones because he knows if he does shorts on his main one, it's gonna dang his long format video. So he knows that. So he already split it up. So that was my kind of debate. Like, do I just make another channel for long format? But that's I just thinking about making another channel, starting fresh for that. I can't do it, man. I'm gonna keep everything on here and ride it out. So it is what it is for now, right? So, yeah. But here's the thing for yours, the one you've done. The problem is, I feel like if you've done that style of video, and if you do another one later on, specifically just with the horizontal for shorts only, like I feel like shorts algorithm knows that this was like kind of cropped out and used from another source. You know what I mean? So
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, so if you filmed it properly, like next time, you'd probably get more views, I would think, because I think it was entertaining. I like that. If you continue with that style, the problem is, you gotta plan it out, you gotta write it out, and you gotta make sure which scenes you're using. But you know what I've done is like some of our bigger Nerf like battles for shorts that we've done, they were about 3 minutes. And same thing, now it's like, shit, how do I trim? I need this under a minute. So it forces you to trim it down, to tweak, to like cut out unnecessary things. So you're really giving them like just like the key, the good stuff. Really, that's what it is in that shorts in that 1 minute. So. And that's why sometimes they work. And those are the ones that I know will probably get over like a lot of like most of those. The one that I mentioned has like 65 million views. So I mean, it's got that many views for a reason. Yeah,
65 million. Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's a big number. That is not a small number.
No, and I mean that's it is what it is. I'm surprised by it too. But the one that you mentioned, the one with the quad rocket. the original video that I've done with the quad rocket, I think that one has like, I think it's over 160 million, something like that. It's crazy. Like that one went completely insane. I would have to find, I think I can find it quickly for you.
I think my favorite part about clicking on those videos and then looking at like, you've got like 160 million views, you'll have like 42,000 likes, and then you'll have like 200 comments. Like, what the heck is up with that?
Well, that's the life of shorts. So here's the thing. No, I'm completely off. So here are the exact numbers. So the video I'm talking about is called Nerf Heavy Weapons Guy 6, and that's a short, obviously. It has 259 million views right now at the moment, by the way. Okay, so that one has actually 3,000 comments. So it's not, that's shocking.
No, that's pretty okay.
I mean, for 250 million, yeah, it should have that many comments.
Yeah, it should. But you're right, it's shorts. I want to stop in here and talk about the last interactions we've had. We had 10 minutes ago, we had a short super chat from Ria. It says, YouTube try not to kill everything fun challenge impossible. And man, does that not feel like what I never understand the decisions YouTube makes, because they seem to they hate like firearms content, and that's some of the most popular stuff they have on the entire system. I just don't get it. They just can't let people, like, as long as they're not doing anything illegal, it should be entirely fine. But since they're based in California, I've gotten dinged recently. It seems I've been dinged more recently for like, oh, this is now demonetized and stuff like that. What was the last one? When I did like the Awaken video, that got dinged and demonetized. I had just 2 streams that got demonetized from YouTube themselves. I had to get all those manually. I have a couple, like the shotgun that shot the 50 caliber foam ball, so you can get like 4 projectiles in 1 shell. When I did that video, they completely demonetized it for saying that it was like shooting airsoft without proper protection equipment, even though the video says Nerf, and I show the ball being squishy before I load it in the shotgun. So I did another manual review and they instantly rejected it. It's like, I just don't understand YouTube. But
joke,
Alea's
man.
right. Thank you very much, Alea. You're entirely right. And I really wish YouTube would cut back on that stuff, because I really feel like that kind of content, especially educational, like firearms content, like what Forgotten Weapons and stuff like that does, that should not be hurt at all. It should be like those channels, you should have to prove yourself. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, they're just going yellow dollar signs on literally everybody. And I just don't get it.
Well, here's the thing. When it goes back to Gun vs. Gun was an entertainment channel. Entertainment. So it's kind of like, there is movies out there where a guy, like John Wick, he kills like 400,000 people. Who the hell knows how many he kills, right? Should we ban that movie now?
More than polio did.
So should that movie be banned? But no, that movie was huge. Everybody loved it. They had like 3-4 parts. I don't even know.
That's fake. Now. That's fake gun violence. What Gun vs. Gun did was real.
So this is what I'm saying. So now that ties into the conversation where you said airsoft, right? This is why we never liked and wanted to get into airsoft, because they look too real. That's not the point. The point is it's entertainment, and we are using these toys. And like I said, it's kind of like just playing through these movies and in your head of like how these would fire if they were real. So that's the kind of the play on it, and that's the entertaining part, and that's what everybody wants to see. That's why we were successful and we were that big on YouTube. But I'm saying YouTube suddenly like, no, this is wrong. We can't have this. Entertainment's wrong. Like, we're not a reality-based channel. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, if someone's educating people on guns, yeah, why are we banning this? That's educational, right? But if it's a real life thing that he's done something with the gun and he's showing it, that's wrong. I get that, to ban that kind of shit. But this is entertainment, man. It's not the action.
I got Homely has been a member for 65 months, which is absolutely nuts. He was one of the first, if not the first. And it says, please use WalcomS7.com to donate to the stream. He gets more out of the donation and gets it faster. Love you, boss man. Thank you very much, Homely. You're doing the best possible work I could ask of anybody. You're doing better work than I am right now, sir. We got a 20 bomb from Vulcan.
Damn!
A $20 donation, and he just said hi. Vulcan is the person who made the original Vulcan chain, as I've been calling him. He's done a couple of blasters. His next blaster is literally like a Nerf Saiga 12, which I'm really excited to see come into fruition. It's a shotgun, but it's an AK shotgun, and it's also Nerf Flywheeler. I'm really excited to see how that turns out. Vulcan, we need to talk soon, buddy. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat.
Nice.
And then we got a $10 donation from Fallon. It asks, Danny, out of all the blasters you saw at Walcom's place when you were there, what was your favorite hobby style blaster? Did you have a favorite of the ones you saw here? Because I'm sure I showed you a bunch of toys.
You showed me so much stuff, and I mean, the one that really, the one that we used in the video at the end, I mean, that was, that one took everybody's attention out of it, and I felt bad for the one that I broke off your wall.
It's fine. It's fine. I was gonna take the stock off anyway, so.
So if you guys want to like kind of get it from perspective of from my side, when I walked into Walcom's place, and I don't know, you guys would probably be the same if you did the same. It's like just like a sensory overload because there's so much stuff that I haven't seen. Like I have, like in this room, I have the original Hasbro neck shot and all this Dart Zone Pro stuff, right? That everybody's seen in stores or online. But when you walk into Walcom's place, he's got stuff that I've never seen before. And so like I can't even, there's like at least 10 blasters that I saw that were like insane, but the one that we used in the video was really the icing on the cake to see that thing in real life. The Gatling gun, why is the name like slipping me here? Moab. BG,
the Moab, yeah. No,
Moab is, I mean, that's you can't.
I know Tommy's not watching. When I brought it home after it had been through California and everything like that, I set it on a table and was like unpacking the chain and stuff like that. And it fell off the table and broke like one of the largest parts of the blaster, which would require pretty much a complete disassembly to fix. And I haven't wanted to ask him for the file because, like, when I was asking for parts to make the Moab 2 that he made, where it does like 100 rounds per second, he's like, well, I don't really want you modifying the original. I'm like, fair enough. Actually, that's a great point. I'll just have to get another one or something in the future when I have a used car amount of money. Speaking of which, guys, if I have a ad in the future that you vehemently don't like for a sponsored video, I want to let you know that the video definitely changed from what I originally had planned, but it was literally like the most amount of money I couldn't help but sell out. So keep that in mind if you see something in the future that might be, it looks like I struggled to make it Nerf related. Please keep that in mind. But that's the kind of money I would need to buy another Moab to get like one of the 100 round per second. Because the one I have right now does 50. It's already too fast. I tried to use it when I was in, what do you call it? Ragnarok Oktoberfest 2023. And it was like impossible to use it as an actual blaster in a battle. It's so much fun though.
No, it's awesome, man. And again, like the stuff you said about ads, I mean, the people have to understand, like we still have to like make money and try to like we're trying to make this content for you guys, but at the same time we try to like pay our bills, and the content has to be worth it. Like the money has to come from somewhere. Otherwise, if this was if we were getting just like no money out of this, like it would all end. Like we wouldn't be able to get the cameras, we wouldn't be able to like spend 2 hours streaming here and all this stuff. So I mean that you guys got to get it. So it is what it is at the time. You know,
it's a necessary evil. It sucks that I get it, but well, it's like my next one will actually be, it looks like a dedicated video. And I when I sent the original proposal, they agreed to it, including the upper price. And then like 2 days later told me, actually, can you do this? And I've been arguing with them for the past couple of days, trying to get something that would like fit the channel ecosystem. But they also like agreed to more money than I make in YouTube in 3 months in one video. So it's like, I kind of have to, because that would solve so many problems right now that isn't even funny. But whenever I get stuff like that, I do make sure to try to give it back to the channel as well. You guys got to keep in mind that I'm one dude, and I do all the edit. This whole stream was set up by me. Like, Danny's obviously here, but it's like I don't have somebody switching between and monitoring chat. It's like it's really just me and whatever people like Hawkeye and David and Homely and stuff like that can help me moderate the chat. Like everything, I do all the editing and everything myself. I am just one dude. So when I have people like Zach or Danny to help me shoot videos and stuff like that, I can't thank them enough. I'm really hoping next time Danny comes down, we have time to do one Danny video and one Walcom video, because I think that was the only thing missing from when you came down here. But I think we had like 5, 6, 7 hours or whatever to do all that stuff, and then you guys had to leave.
You know, it took us a while to do that video, and so I'm glad the way it turned out. I really like it, man. That's probably my favorite video in the last 2 years. Like I said, 3 in terms of long format videos, because it's funny, it's entertaining, it's packed with action, more so than I even thought. That the script was a little bit different, but this was ended up really good. Even the last clash, when we pinned the X-Shot Insanity versus the Moab, that was pretty fun to do as well. And then I think we did improvise the ending with BG as well. But
that was perfect.
It worked out really well.
ending.
Yeah, it worked out really well. And so I really like that video. I would love to do another one. And you saw, I've talked to you about it. I don't know if your audience knows, but we are discussing making another one. And
I'll do all the videos you want, baby.
My plan after that would be to kind of try to involve another creator, and so I have 2 of us now as part of the Titans series, and then add another person as part 3. So I mean, one guy off the top of my head I can think of is Aaron Esser. I mean, I've done a couple of collabos in terms of shorts with him. So I'm assuming if I ever asked him, he'd probably be down for it. The problem is he's on the other side of the country, so I don't know.
I have no clue. That would be amazing. I've met Aaron. I talked to him. The dude's absolutely freaking phenomenal. And he does actually, again, he dabbles in both sides of the hobby pretty well. So he knows a lot of the higher end stuff and the Nerf stuff. I haven't kept up with his content all that well because it's not exactly my form of content. And I try not to watch too much Nerf content because I don't want to accidentally steal other people's content. That's a huge, like thing that I try not to do because I am very good at lifting ideas and then not remembering where I got them from. So I try not to watch other Nerf content to keep that away. But
yeah, he's on top of his stuff, and I've noticed he's used Mac Danny gun. He's used Mac Danny in his keywords, which is quite flattering as well. So he knows on top of this stuff.
That's when you know you've made it big, man.
He's trying.
He's using your freaking stuff. You know how many people probably don't have anything to do with like there's nobody has like Walcom ready. There's no way. So it's like that's cool as hell.
It is, I guess so. But I know he's been around during that Gunver's Gun days, and he was on the bottom behind us, and then now he's at 8 million, so he's doing really well. The one guy that we kind of, I'm surprised that he's kind of struggling. I feel like PDK hasn't really been doing that great recently, so I don't know what the hell he's doing.
He started another channel. I haven't really kept up with it that much, but he did do like the Kinkowski channel. But I mean, there's a point for every content creator, I think, where you've pretty much done everything you wanted to do, and you could just keep doing it to make money. But if you don't really need the money, which I don't think PDK really does anymore, so it makes sense to me if he's like, I'm gonna wait until I have a good idea. Personally, like we were talking about this because like yesterday, if I may devolve a little bit of your secrets from yesterday, if that okay? Yeah. You said that I have to get a video out tomorrow, so I figured something out. I went to Toys R Us and then I came back and filmed all day and got it ready for tomorrow. And it's like, as a content creator, that is the thing I absolutely loathe, and I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible, which is why my content has slowed down so dramatically. Is like, I have to get a video out right now. Because every time I do that, the video performs bad because my heart's not in it. And I'm trying to find the way that I can do both content that I want to do in a timely fashion. And I'm just like, you are so creative, because I watched a good portion of your Toys R Us video, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he just gets to go to a Toys R Us and just does this. And I was like, how the heck, I wish I was a quarter as creative as you. Because then I would have no problems. I filmed 7 or 8 videos on a bunch of different blasters that I've had sitting around forever that I need to pump videos out on. And I went to sit down and edit 2 of them, and I immediately went to free film pretty much everything because I wasn't happy with that. I'm so bad about that.
You can't do that. So here's the thing. I told you that I'm trying to be, in terms of my long format, I'm trying to be on schedule. So I think the expectation for me to do every week is too much. So now I'm on this every other week schedule. So now I dropped this one on Saturday. So next weekend there's nothing. And then weekend after that is going to be another short, whatever that's going to be. I'll figure it out. But I was in the middle of filming something with BG and the clone stuff that I usually do here. But I knew that I was going to run out of time. There's no way I can finish it by Saturday. And it won't be what I want it to be, like the end product. But I felt like if I do go to that, I always have that Toys R Us as a backup so I can go out there and see what new blasters they have out there. And so that was kind of always as a backup, and that's what I was like, okay, let's get out there. And whole Friday was kind of wasted on, well, not wasted, but people don't understand how, that takes a while. You got to get out there, you got to film this, you got to edit this, and then you got to do the sound, the music, and all that stuff. It took me all day to kind of get that out there. But as far as like going back to so let's say that took me a full day. To me, that's really, I'm used to like Gummer's gun stuff. Because so many effects that when we filmed it on, like, let's say we filmed it on a random Thursday, that video is basically due the next following Saturday, because we would do every Saturday for like a couple of years. It was all straight every weekend, right? The effects and all the editing, I was basically dropping probably 5 to 6 hours a day for that, since the filming of that video, to get that video ready for next Saturday. So basically from that Thursday on, so basically a full week of every single day, 5 to 6 hours of editing and special effects to get that all done, because you have to do so many muzzle flashes, so many ricochets, so much stuff, and it has to be ready for next Saturday. So I mean, that stuff was a lot, and that taught me like this stuff isn't too bad, but these days, but like based on all that shit I had to do back for Gummer's gun, man.
Yeah, just saying hi to Tag in the chat right there. He says, hi Walcom, hi Danny. That guy is he covers a lot of blasters that like most people can't get their hands on. It's really cool. So shout out to Tag. Fallon says, anyone remember Nerf Boy Productions? I remember watching him when I joined the hobby. I found that guy because he had a YouTube bot that spammed his channel on like my old gameplay videos for S4 League. I don't know if that had anything to do with his rocket to success, but again, it just seems like a content creator. It's like they reach the point where it's like, hey, I've done what I want to do. I don't really have any more ideas, and they just mess off. Like
he was a Canadian guy, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that is. Yeah.
I love Nerf. Like I'm still going to be a big man-child for Nerf and stuff like that. So I collect the blasters. I play with them all the time. I usually always have a blaster nearby somewhere. Unfortunately, my golden boy is behind the green screen right now, but yeah, no, it's like you always, like, you have a whole background. That's one of the things that I wanted to like try to fix with this setup here, is like I want to get rid of that couch behind me and put like a shelving unit and stuff behind it so I can stream more from like an actual Nerf setup. But it's like, I love Nerf. I'm never not gonna love Nerf. I wish Nerf had been better in the last like 2-3 years, but now it's like, normally back in the day, we'd do a video on everything, right? Like you do a video on the Nerf Strikeout, you do a video on the Nerf Driller, you do all these. Nowadays, it's like we can't, because like every single video would be the same thing. It's like the Nerf Strikeout is a $15 two-shot jolt. Why would you buy this when you could buy this? And that's every video now.
So here's this is a suggestion. I would say this, and I'm saying in front of your fans out here too as well. I feel like, so we talked about Coop and the stuff he's done, like. Whatever new was out there, he would kind of review it. The thing is with you, I know you're like, this thing is, you're probably, if you don't like it, you're not in it, and you don't want to do it. But I was telling you, I'm like, so just, I would say speak your mind, like, and say that it's crappy, but still review it and show them what it has, all the features and whatever the hell it comes with, even the dinosaur crap, right? But then that gives you more content, and I feel like some of them probably won't get as many views, but people will still search for it, and kids will just to see if they're good or not. So I think you need to speak the truth and let others know that these products out there that are out there right now are garbage, and you should review them.
I get it, but the problem winds up is that I just get a whole bunch of comments that are like, well, it's not meant for you, Walcom. It's meant for kids. And I'm just so tired of I'm tired of saying the same things, and I'm so tired of hearing it. And I've found a way to maybe do those kinds of videos from a more satirical, fun point of view. But it's like, I filmed the Strikeout Driller video. I put them both in one video. I filmed that back in December. And I can't even bring myself to edit it because I just hate the video so freaking much. So
here's a good comment here. So Britfoam saying Coop was the Nerf dictionary. So this is what I was trying to get to you. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, don't make the video 8 minutes, to get the ads for if it's a crappy blaster. But just drop a 3 to 4 minute video explaining what it's about. And then at the end saying it's garbage. Okay, or maybe it's for kids, but you think it's garbage. So that's your opinion. Doesn't matter. And leave it out there, because I feel like you need to create this backlog and like a library of all these blasters that are out now and that will be coming out as well, no matter if you like it or not. I just think, because then, so that you have this catalog and people will search for it and come to you for all this Nerf stuff, no matter if it's good or bad.
You're not wrong. I'm never going to say you're wrong about that. I just, like, I've tried, and my brain just, I don't know. I feel like if there's not enough of me liking or not enough of me hating, if it's just a middle-of-the-road boring thing, the video just isn't fun to watch. And I don't really want to put content out there for the sake of putting out content, because I think that's the trap. Because I'm watching a lot of content creators that just do videos because they have to do videos, and their channel just falls right off a cliff. Because how am I supposed to watch a video where you clearly didn't like the thing you were reviewing? You know what I mean?
How the hell did Coop like so many blasters then? He liked them all.
He was the enigma. Like, he did every single video the exact same way. That was the thing with Coop.
He had a template.
He had absolutely the same video for the first 75%. And then he'll just go like, so what is my personal opinions? I think it's a piece of crap. I don't know why you would ever buy this. And he wouldn't put any emotion into it, but for some reason that was acceptable to people. But since I've built my entire brand on having, you know, my heart on my sleeve, my emotion out there, I just can't do it. I could make a Coop video all day, every day. Coop video would be the easiest thing in the world for me to make. It would be 1/4 the effort I put in my regular videos. But then I'm just copying Coop. I'm not doing my own content. So it's like, I haven't done that. And I've been trying to, like, how do I do something similar to what Coop was doing without copying Coop? I have ideas. I was sitting here 2 or 3 days ago trying to think of a way where I could have, like, a video game style breakdown of, like, a new blaster where it's like, just like Call of Duty kind of thing. Like, I actually had a friend of mine, I want to say 2 years ago now, take the loadout screen from Black Ops 2 and give me, like, just a dry video of it. And I was going to use that to make, like, if there was a blaster that came out, I could review the blaster and then make a joke loadout of that blaster, like in the style of what Xbox Ahoy and Drifter would do like 10 years ago. And I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. And I have a dry run of that planned here very soon. But that was like my one. I have that, and I have literally one where I have like a coveralls and stuff I put on so it looks like I'm a garbage man. And I'm going to dig through the trash can and pull out Nerf blasters and review them. Those are the two backup plans I have to covering those kinds of blasters. But that's the only way I could enjoy them.
No, I get it, but yeah, it makes sense. And if that's the way you enjoy it, you just do it. But again, you would have to have a segment to show the features of the whatever blaster it is. So I mean, that can be a generic segment for every blaster. So that's a minute or two, right? So that kind of fills the video. And like I said, you just create this catalog of blasters where people can just go back and look at it, because like you said, a lot of that Coop stuff was all the same shit and just gives his little opinion at the end. But he'll get 100, 200,000 views on all these blasters because kids would go there and just they know he had the reviews and all the ones that were out and released. So
I'm just super bad at doing things for the money. I'm really bad about it.
You're gonna have to sell out on a few, man.
Well, it's like I've done ads and stuff like that. Although, to be fair, I don't think I've done an ad for anything I don't legitimately enjoy. And I know there's a lot of people like, oh, well, what about Raid? It's like, I played Raid. I played Raid for probably 10, 15 hours. It's not for me, but I also have friends that play Raid unironically. Like, I like, gacha games with anime girls in them, and Raid doesn't have enough anime girls. I'm sorry, I'm never going to enjoy it as much as I enjoy things like Nikkei. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not against mobile games. I've played a ton of them. I wish I would get sponsored from the mobile games that I currently like and enjoy. I mean, that would be the dream. But I'm not going to sit here and like, oh, Raid's bad, this is bad. Like, there's a whole bunch of these games. Like, I think when I did Frag Pro Shooter, I legitimately played that game for like 4 months. Like, okay, I played the crap out of it.
Listen to this. Okay, so let's say you're into, you're a movie critic, right? You review movies.
Yeah.
Or you're just hardcore into, like, I don't know, whatever, Will Smith, right? So suddenly, because you don't like the movie, or because movie is not an action, it's a romantic comedy or something, you're like, I'm not going to review this because my heart's not in it. You got to review it, man. You got to do it.
You got a point.
We need to know your opinion on this stuff. I don't care how bad.
But then there's also the movie critics that only do one specific genre. Like, when it comes to like horror, there are so many movie critics that only do like horror. Only do horror, nothing else. Thankfully, there's enough garbage content out for them to actually get a whole channel based off that. But like, there are critics that only do the one thing. And I feel like maybe I'm pigeonholed into doing like just the Nerf thing and the way I've been doing it, which is why I'm trying to come up with ways where I can have fun, where it isn't a shoot ton of work to get a video out there on it. And I told you I have a couple ideas, and it's just like I have to just get those ideas out there. I'm gonna be starting a second channel most likely because like Hasbro's doing Beyblade X, and obviously, you know, I like Beyblades. I have a ton of them, and I've been holding off on getting any of the Japanese Beyblade X stuff, but Hasbro ruined Beyblade, absolutely obliterated it, and then they took like a year off, and now they're doing Beyblade X, and it's apparently identical to the Japanese tops.
Wow.
So it's like, I love Beyblade. I think Beyblade is one of the coolest things ever. I'm probably going to start a second channel. I've been thinking about how I'm going to film it and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why I've done so much organizing and cleanup and stuff like that. But man, it's like, I want to do other stuff, but like the same thing. It's like, how many channels have I followed where it's like they did one thing, right? They just did Rust. They just did one specific game, and then they tried to do something else that completely falls apart and their entire channel just crumbles down. It sucks.
It does suck. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. There's a fine line there. So, I mean, the good thing is, I am I told you that, man. I if you guys don't know out there, I wrote a script. It's about 100 pages, an official movie script.
Oh, yeah.
Walcom is featured in it. He is a Nerf. I'm not gonna say Nerf because Nerf has not bought the script. He is a blaster modifier in the movie for these kind of characters that have a blaster battle coming up. It's like a big tournament, and it all goes down in this tournament where, you know, the guy, takes on his the villains and the guys that were bullying him throughout the script. So it's actually a family action comedy kind of thing. I'm trying to shop it, man. And my first reach is to go out there to X-Shot and get him to say, hey, you guys can actually produce a blaster line just for this movie. The heroes, the bad guys, Walcom specific, but whatever. Everybody would have a blaster in it, and you guys can put it in the shelves as the movie hits the streaming platform, whatever you guys want to do with it. So it would be a huge draw for a company like that to be in and create this and make a movie like this, where it's a big promotion for the blasters, and then they can sell them at the same time in store. So that's one thing I'm trying to shop. And then again, we as creators would have cameos in the movie, and then we would promote it online, promote these blasters that are in the movie. I feel like it would be a huge success in terms of just, this kind of thing.
Well, you made an entire channel basically doing just Nerf action scenes, so why the heck not?
Yeah, I mean, so we can get like Aaron Esser and all these bigger Nerfers in on it, make a cameo in the movie, and then promote the blasters and the movie on their channels as it comes out. So I mean, that would be a huge thing. So I that's why I'm like, I hope X-Shot is smart enough to jump in on this, man.
I mean, they were smart enough to put Catgirl made on a blaster and send them to me. So I mean, they obviously have some extremely good taste.
By the way, so what is the call on their X-Shot skins line now? Like, they came out, and now I feel like that's kind of it. They're done with it?
Have they done a new skin? So we've seen a leak. We've seen a couple of leaks. They have a new Insanity line, and it's like desert Mad Max zombie themed is their next one, but it is Insanity. It's like X-Shot Insanity, like something, but it's all like Bone Skull Mad Max themed. And then they have the X-Shot Unicorn Blaster, which is going to probably be the greatest thing that anybody's ever made for a blaster. It's a unicorn where you pull on its tail to prime it, and then the unicorn head is pointed down and the dart loads in the horn. It's going to be amazing. As for skins, I doubt they're done with it, but I'm really happy that like this is the second year in a row we'll actually see new blasters from X-Shot, because I'm really like, most of the time X-Shot does stuff like they do, like for the entirety of X-Shot pretty much, they've been reshelling the same blaster since the very beginning. And now we're finally getting new stuff. And I really hope that's because they just hit gold. Like my Ragefire video has like 400,000 views. Like your tank video where you took all the X-Shot Insanity stuff, like that has like 1 billion views. Like,
it's doing well.
People love them. The X-Shot Ragefire was sold out during Christmas. I couldn't find one for sale anywhere. Like they obviously, they did a LinkedIn post. Like one of the people did a LinkedIn post where they said the X-Shot Pro Series long shot was like the fastest selling blaster they've ever made ever. Like they're killing it, and I really hope that they continue like putting out. Like I hope we get another Pro Blaster or two this year, and I hope they just keep doing new stuff, because like their biggest folly was always they just did like one maybe new blaster design every 2 or 3 years, and it was basically just a reshell of something they already had. Like they did like the one like the Turbo Advance or something, and then they came out with the Fortress, which the Fortress is basically a Turbo Advance in a slightly different shell. Yeah. So I'm hoping they do more. As for them like producing like a Netflix or Hulu special action comedy family friendly thing with Nerf blasters, where it does like the same thing, where it's like it's just Nerf, but in the minds of the people playing, it turns into like an actual battle with explosions and, you know, stuff like that. That's gold. It's actual gold. And especially if it comes from the side where it's like, you were like, I already wrote in a script, we can put any blasters in this video and it would still be the same video.
It would be. So the idea is, though, there's no explosions, there's no muzzle flares. It's actually like you would take it, like, you know how you've seen the Dart Zone Pro tournaments, right? It's like those team of 5. I don't know if it's 5 versus 5 or 10 versus 10. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
5v5 usually. So
in the movie, it's kind of 2v2. It's like you got it's a kind of a son dad son kind of combo. The tournament's kind of centered around that. And so it's actually, there's no muzzle flares. It's actually, they just blast like an actual blaster would blast in real life. There's no flares and any of that. So it's really a family-oriented comedy movie or a script that I wrote about that. So it's not, there's no violence. There's none of that gun versus gun stuff. It's really just,
yeah. Okay.
It would appeal to everybody really. And I feel like it's kind of like, you know, Karate Kid has got the tournament and he's fighting people. It's kind of like that with blasters. It's like really a Dart Zone Pro tournament. And this kid really wants to enter it and defeat his bullies that are there, and he's willing to blasters. And so he drags his mentor, or, you know, he doesn't have a father, but he drags his father figure in with him, and they train together, and then they get into this tournament, right? That's really what it's about.
It's a movie combo that works.
Yeah, there you go. And I think it would work, man. And like, I feel like it will be a hit.
This is the closest I'll probably ever get to a Nerf sports anime arc, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys, in the script, they come to you into the store, and then you modify the blasters for them for the tournament. So I mean, that's written. It's in there. It's on the page. So hopefully, Libby out there in X-Shot are willing to kind of jump in on this, man, and get it done.
I finally get to be that guy from Dave the Diver, the anime dude that really loves modifying firearms for the main character. That's
there you go.
That's what I want to be when I grow up, even though I'm in my mid-30s now. You know,
so,
Hasbro,
that'd be good.
This Vesic says, you know, Hasbro had those old Zombie Strike promotional videos, and I talked about those in my Nerf Zombie Strike movie, essentially. But yeah, Hasbro used to be really cool about that stuff, and then they completely fell off and stopped doing anything cool and fun.
No, I have no idea what the hell they're doing. And again, they've been stopped. Like, I've been approached to be I never told this, but I was supposed to run this. It was supposed to be a reality show, same kind of thing where I think it's like they square off with blasters, and there's like different challenges and targets and all that stuff they got to hit, and then the winners announced every week. It was supposed to be I don't know the name of it, but they contacted Hasbro to get approval for this show, and I was supposed to host it. And basically Hasbro put a stop to them and said that they're in the process of creating something similar, and they're like, sorry, you can't blah 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 use this. And this was like 3 years ago, and I'm like, where's this show? I still haven't seen shit from them. So
are they talking about Nerf House?
I don't think
which
so,
was like
man.
A web series that was awful.
Yeah. Oh, it was this is a problem.
You know what? I don't even believe for a second that Hasbro was doing that. Judging by how they've been acting these last 5-6 years that I've personally witnessed, I guarantee you, somebody saw that email and went, oh, they're making this? Well, instead of just doing the logical thing would be to get in on this and sponsor and make sure that's the best they could. They were like, we need to do that. And then they quickly made a piece of garbage they uploaded to YouTube, and that was the end of that.
For sure, exactly. That's what happened. That's why they're a bunch of idiots, because their focus should be on developing these blasters and making the best ones they can, because everything else they should sign off and let like other companies that know how to do it for them, and their name will still be out there and still be a good promotion, rather than no, we gotta do this in-house and got the crap out of it and make it really crappy and nobody's gonna watch that. So this is their problem. That is their biggest problem right there, man.
I don't know who to blame for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it always seems like Hasbro does the exact opposite of what they should. And I understand, like, protecting their intellectual property, especially when there's so many competitors doing the same thing they do, but better. But at the same time, it's like, they should be, like, it never makes sense to me. These companies they should be getting in with these creators that are already doing all the work, and then nurture that into a thing, instead of shutting it down and doing their own garbage take on whatever the idea was. Because I guarantee you, I've never heard the story about you doing this, like, thing, but I guarantee you what happens is somebody saw that email, and 2 months later they were shooting and filming 20 episodes of it in a weekend, and then they uploaded it to the NERF website, and it was the most god-awful thing, because I think they did 2 seasons of that NERF house thing. And I watched it on a live stream, and they freaking struck down my stream. So I'm well familiar with this whole NERF house thing. And it was like,
they're terrible at creating this kind of content, and that's the main thing. It's like, hey, let's stop creating. Let's not have a NERF channel on YouTube and put our commercials and garbage on there, because it doesn't work. You're not gonna. They don't get any views on that shit. So why don't we give our blasters and put our effort in creating the best blasters we can, then giving those blasters to these creators who can actually generate views using our new blasters, and then basically that's our promotion. But they want to do it all themselves, and they suck at it because
they're horrible.
They're terrible.
And I don't know, like, who to blame for that, right? Like, I don't have a name. I've never met or talked to whoever calls those shots, but there's definitely some kind of senior person in Hasbro that, like, I think this person changes every couple of years, but, like, the decisions they make are just back-asswards. They don't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense, and I'm fearful that X-Shot is falling for the similar thing now, because like you said, they're getting some success now, and I feel like they're pushing. They pushed me a little bit away. I mean, they were quite close to me a couple of years ago, and when I went to their VidCon and all this stuff, when they did that big booth thing for skins reveal. But now I haven't been not been in touch with them since like a while now. It's been like a year. Remember when we did our video and we tried to get him to kind of sponsor another one that was it.
Same thing with Dart Zone. Like, I feel like Dart Zone is, I don't know what they're doing, but it's like they tried to run their own, like, NERF, like, Jared's Epic Blaster Battle thing, and apparently it was god-awful. And they also, like, I just did that tournament in California where it's like we used nothing but, like, Dart Zone product. And the guy who, like, bought the stuff for it literally spent, like, $20,000 on darts and blasters and stuff off Amazon. And we had 42,000 bamboo darts. But I tried to talk to Dart Zone, and they're like, oh, we can't do an order like that right now because we're getting ready for, like, the Nuremberg Toy Fair. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, you should be able to, like, oh, yeah, let me get you to our sales department. We can get you 50,000 darts sent out. And I was talking to the guy recently because, like, I still missing footage from that event, but it's like, I really want to try to get that together for a video. But I even asked Dart Zone point blank, like, hey, have you guys seen, like, I posted on Instagram and stuff like that. I just ran a $25,000 NERF tournament, which I think is the highest prize there's ever been in, like, a foam flinging tournament. And it was exclusively Dart Zone stuff. And I didn't even get an email back. Like, they just don't care. And also, Dart Zone has been, like, kind of slipping the last couple of years. And it's like, I actually got the call last week. No, 3 days ago. 3 days ago. I got the call that the NERF Tournament 2 Electric Boogaloo is happening. I will be going to California in August to do another massive NERF tournament. And I am so excited for that. You have no freaking idea. It's going to be so much better the second time around because I know what works, what doesn't work, and what I want to try to improve on. Nice. And I'm pumped. I'm so freaking pumped. And it would be absolutely amazing if I could get, like, Dart Zone on board. And I don't know if I can because they barely pay attention to their emails. And it's really infuriating.
Yeah, and I mean that's their thing. Like, if you're trying to set something up like that, they should be definitely jump on it and be part of it. It makes no sense why not. I don't know, man. But all I know is I've noticed that I'm hoping, like I said, they don't, like, X-Shot and Zuru don't fall for that same kind of thing as NERF did, because they're trying to push. Number one, I see they're trying to push their TikTok account, and they're trying to have these creators run their TikTok accounts. They're not very appealing. Same thing. They can't generate views. So they're wasting their money and effort on this garbage instead of just like contacting the people that do this and can get these views for them and just let us do this for you, man. At the same time, they've been reaching out to these other creators who are not in the blaster field and trying to get them these videos for them. And it's like one-off video, but it's like, this is not the audience. No one's going to buy the shit. So I hope they don't slip into this stuff because like I said, they have not been in touch with me in a while. So I don't know, man.
There's no way that like giving some B-list basketball star a blaster and like how much you got a 6-figure minimum on that contract to get them to shoot a 1-minute TikTok or whatever using their product, when it's like there's no way that has a greater return than just like, it's the same thing with like crypto, like how all these as sports people were coming out doing like, oh, this is the best crypto coin and stuff like that, and they were all terrible ideas and stuff like that. But it's like there's no way that's actually worth it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a basketball star or sports star or anything like that, so I can't just like, oh, they rug pulled you on that crypto coin that I advertised. I don't know what you're talking about. I already deleted it. I got my coin, I sold it, and I got paid for that. I got a bag. That's just how it's gonna go. I'm not one of those people that can do that, so I have no idea. But it's like you pay us a fraction of that, and you'd probably get 50-70% of the traffic of people who would actually be excited. Like, when I get excited for a blaster, I'm legitimately excited. I will make the best possible video that I could make on that product. And I feel like I don't even ask for money. The only company that's ever paid me anything was Dart Zone. And they did that because everybody, myself included, had the same opinion on the Dart Zone Pro Mark IV. It's like, oh, it has nothing compared to the Harrier. You remember the Worker Harrier?
Yeah.
So they paid me to do a mod guide, and all they wanted to do was like give me a spring and give me it was like give you a spring and a barrel and show how much harder it hits. And we went above and beyond that. Like we actually got more stuff to put in the blaster to make it hit as hard as possible, and like without changing the barrel. And this is mind-blowing. The barrel is one of the most important things. My Dart Zone Pro Mark IV hits like a 350 FPS with the stock barrel right now. It is silly.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. But so here's the thing. X-Shot and Zuru already fell for this earlier before their skin line. Do you remember? Whereas I have those garbage ones here right there. Give me this one. I just want to show it to them. BG, grab that. Yeah, that one. I'll show you this and you tell me if you know what I'm talking about. This thing.
Yeah, that's like the Ninja Turbo.
The Ninja. What the hell does the gamer Ninja have to do with blasters? And what does his audience
they're not even
to
exclusive to him. They're reshells of blasters they already did. They're just in a different color scheme. They did come with that little keychain. That was kind of cool.
Okay, that was cool. But for us blaster guys, but not for his audience. They're gamers. They're not going to buy this shit. So they wasted a contract and millions of probably to sign him, put his like logo and face on this stuff. And I didn't give a shit about this because this was like, I don't care about this Ninja stuff like as a blaster guy. And why would his fans who are into gaming, into game stuff, be buying this stuff? And why would X-Shot sign with them? Makes no sense. Why would they put his face on there? But that's the problem.
Because popular thing interacts with our product means prints money.
They want to cross over and try to get something like, but that shit don't fly like that, man.
My feed on my Streamlabs is not working. I'm trying to get, Quintic just donated $5, and it was something, I'm trying to get it. If you would stop sucking, YouTube. He says, when they are chasing endorsement promotions based on subscriber base rather than domain interest, you get this crap. And that, I feel that in my heart. Because it's like, I can see how they would think. It's like, oh, if we give random popular streamer, random popular influencer, blaster tie-in or something like that and throw them X amount of dollars and they don't even have to pay anything. It's like, I don't know. You were right. It's like, I would love to see how much that, the Mr. Beast contract was. But at the same, like, was that...
Millions.
Yeah, but it's like, was that worth it? There's no way that was worth it. Like,
no.
I've never seen one of those Mr. Beast things in real life. I've never seen one. And it's the same blaster they already did, colored differently with a different hopper, which was the coolest part. And it's like, oh, this is Mr. Beast branded. But when you like you look at the blaster, there's like nothing. There might be a logo on there, but it's not like it's hydro dipped with Jimmy's face on it or something like that. You know, it's like, I just don't get how that is lucrative. I'm not saying like, I guess I am jealous, but I wouldn't want my face or my brand tied to a blaster unless it was something that was exquisitely catered like the made long shot. If I told Dartzone straight up, if you want to put that on store shelves, I already got approval for the artists who did the original logo, and they did the artwork themselves, so it's not like they don't own that artwork. Yeah, go ahead and make that an actual product. Put it on store shelves. That's amazing. And I don't think that ever happened, but it's like, I don't really care. I didn't get paid for that, and having that exist is way too good for me. And it's like, even if like Dart Zone was like, hey, we want to make what you think, like, we want you to sit down and make what you think your perfect blaster is. And it's like, it doesn't even have to loosely be tied to me or anything. It's like, I just wish these companies would talk to us more in general. Because like, I see them like, they can't, I know the idea here, right? They're going to like, they're doing customer, like they have kids in a room that like, no, what do you think about this one? Let me tell you. And then they make a product based off that. And I think every single time they're pretty much wrong. And it really hurts. Like, I don't know why they don't work with us a little bit more. Like, how come they don't, like, get a bunch of us in a room? Like, I granted, we're adults, but we also know what kids would like. And we also know what we would like. It's like, are you trying to target 6-year-olds with your product? Well, then, yeah, don't talk to us. We wouldn't really, unless we're parents, and I'm not a parent yet. But with things like the Pro line, it's like, that's literally made because of hundreds of thousands of people in this hobby making contributions over time to evolve this into this state. So like, talk to us about it, because like, I know what would make a blaster good or bad. Like, work with us, because that way when you have the product come out, it will be that much better for it.
For
and
sure.
I don't say like one of us, talk to a bunch of us.
For sure. And you know what, how I know that we can actually move this product, because on my YouTube shorts, like towards the end of the year, you can actually attach a product now. You know how you have that affiliated products on YouTube now?
I just checked that out last night.
So I added a whole bunch of Nerf and X-Shot stuff to my videos. And like, I made actually quite a bit of extra cash. I was surprised at a lot of people buying it, because that's the audience. These are like you said, those 6-year kids that want to buy this stuff are watching our videos. The people that are into this stuff are watching our videos. So when they see it and they're like, oh, your face is on it, I'd like to buy that. I'm not a fucking gamer who suddenly wants to, like, this guy's promoting blasters to me. I'm like, I'm into like Fortnite. Why would I now care about this blaster that your face is on it? Like, leave me alone. That's what they're thinking about. Like, promote the stuff to the audience, the core audience that are watching it, because those 6-year-olds that they want to grab are watching our stuff on YouTube. So they're not watching their stupid TikTok channels or YouTube channels, because they're crap. They've hired a crap guy to run their social media. All of them. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they just have random creators sometimes in the hobby. Like, I haven't been a part of any of them, but I've seen like Nerf have random, like, I was like, yeah, I know that dude. Like, it's cool that he got to do that, but it's like, did he really care that much about that product? No. And it's like, I just don't understand why, like, they just don't work with us. It's like, how many blasters do you own, Danny?
Oh my God, bro. I don't know.
You know more about these blasters than whatever random person that's been working at Hasbro for probably 2 years knows about these blasters. They probably know about the creation of a blaster more than you know about the creation of a blaster. But when it comes to like encyclopedic knowledge on like what these goods, what you like, what you don't like, why you like it, why you don't like it, what gets more clicks on YouTube, what doesn't get clicks on YouTube, you would think that you would be an invaluable resource for these companies, right?
Yeah, well, I guess not, because like I said, it's zero contact from Hasbro, so that's never gonna happen. But I know that I've influenced the X-Shot in their Insanity line, because all my thumbnails from Gummer's Gun are basically based. Their blasters all look like that now. So I mean,
literally the clickbait blasters.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, I never, and even that, I never even got a preview of it before it came out. So I mean, unfortunately,
that's insanity. It's literally X-Shot insanity right there. How could they not talk to you guys first, like they know more than you do?
Because I feel like the same thing. They were in touch with me before the skins came out. But suddenly, like I said, they've switched stuff around, and now they're not anymore. They're talking to all these other social media people who are not into blaster stuff. That's the problem. This is what I'm saying. I feel like they're going in the wrong direction again, unfortunately.
Maybe it's like you. I mean, I haven't had any contact with Dart Zone since last summer. They haven't contacted me about anything.
Yeah.
And I'll most likely go through. Like, I'm more than happy. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have that one blaster, and it will be buried with me. That's my signature. Everything I've ever wanted. But I really wish I could like talk to these companies more and like work with them on a closer level. I don't even really want to get paid. I just want to make the best possible content I can. If that makes any sense whatsoever. It's like, I'm so sick of like, especially when it comes to like getting blasters, like it's a rat race and it sucks. Cause like when I get the Nerf rifle Mirage, do you think I'm going to have a week to put out that video? No, I'm filming it the day. I'm literally going to get the package from the post office. I'm going to do the video and then I'm going to work on it all night and have it up the next morning. And that's that video because I know I can't sit on it forever. But with things like the Nerf zombie stuff, it's like, dude, I couldn't care less. Like, there's so many other videos out on it, and, like, all of them are, like, 10, 12,000 views, maybe. When back in the day, Coop could do a video and get, like, 500,000 off that kind of stuff. It's like, these companies just, I guess they just don't get it, but they don't care that they don't get it, but they also then don't care about all the money they're not getting. I don't know. We're just two angry old men talking about toys and how these companies don't care about us.
I know. Hey, let me, I've seen a lot of comments that I've been trying to mention is a lot of people ask, where's Tommy? Let's get into that.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I wanted you to talk about it.
I will bring it up. So what happened with Tommy is, the recent update on him is that he actually has moved to Alaska, and I'm not joking around. This is the reality. He decided, I don't know why, to go fight the Eskimos or live with them. I'm not sure.
I've been watching a lot of like content creators from Alaska, so that's funny as heck.
So he's up there now. I don't know why or for how long, but that's the recent update I got on him, and I really haven't been in touch with him, nor did I talk to him for probably now 4 or 5 months. So yeah, that's the case. He's alive, doing well, and now he's up there. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's up there for now. Hopefully comes back sometime soon. And there's always a chance for us to pick up from Gunver's Gun stuff, or we can do Gunver's Gun style videos on my Mac Danny Gun channel since he's doing well. Do some short stuff. I don't know if he ever comes back. So basically, that's the reality, man. I don't know if he's gonna go out there and retire, and that's it. So I don't know. He won't tell me. So he never really shares full info. So I don't know. That's all I know basically on Tommy's whereabouts.
Was he Canadian? Like, did he move to Alaska? Isn't that a U.S. territory? Can you just do that as a Canadian? How the heck does that work?
He is Canadian. I know he didn't sign any papers or anything to become a U.S. citizen. So I think he can only be there 6 months and has to come back. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what his angle is. Maybe he's trying to become a U.S. citizen by going up there and doing some kind of work that'll give him some kind of green card. I don't know.
Is he like working in like an oil thing? Because that's like the only thing I can think of you could do is.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
I've been watching like Truck House Camping or whatever. It's a guy that lives in Alaska. He has like a log cabin on. Watched like all of his videos for like the past 2 years in the last month or so. Really cool guy. Seeing that kind of stuff where it's like negative 46 and his truck won't start. And he's like, oh no. Like, and now I've left my truck running for 8-9 days straight now, never turning that thing off again. But like, yeah, what drives a Tommy to just like, I'm gonna go to Alaska. It's a beautiful place, but man,
go figure.
This time of year,
he's always been an oddball like that. So I don't know. I can't read his mind, nor could I ever have. So I mean, I don't know, man. So go figure. You guys can take whatever you want out of that, but that's the truth.
Cross Gorilla says, are you guys planning to be on Jared's Epic Blaster Battle 2024 at SoFi Stadium? Is that a thing? I haven't heard anything.
Is it a thing?
As for all I know, I'll never be invited back to a Jared's Epic Blaster Battle. I have no clue. Because, like, yeah, I didn't go to the Dallas one, and I think that smoked me from forever being invited to a Jared's Epic Blaster Battle again, which is, you know, I had my time. I had my fun. I would love to go back, but I haven't heard anything about another Jared's Epic Blaster Battle. Nothing. And
so... Jared still owes me money for the last two, so there you go. That's
yeah. I wonder if he genuinely just forgot. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would like stiff you on that. I wonder if he just forgot. I don't know.
Well, I texted him about it a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and he said he's on it, but I still haven't gotten the money. And the last blast battle I was at, it was almost coming up to a year ago. I mean, so I don't know, man. I hope there's another one so I get my money back.
I would love to go to another one in LA. I probably won't go to one if Danny's not there, because I want somebody to have my back, and there's no better person to have at your side than a Danny. So
I will. If I'm going to go to any, it's probably going to be LA, and that's about it. So I'm down to go to LA, but if I never heard of it, so I don't know if there's one.
I think you, Sophie, Liberte Cinemas, I think we made an excellent freaking team every time we went there. I think we had a blast. No, so I'm awesome. Really hoping there's another time to, grow up on that. The last LA one was kind of a disaster for us, though.
It was, it was. But you know what? I still, a lot of, I'm going to say a lot of, there's about 10 kids that are still in touch with me over Instagram that I talked to and whatever we hung out with in LA Blast Battle. So hopefully they get to see us once again, because they're pumped about it. So hopefully there's one this year. I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope there are. I genuinely hope that there is more and I get to go to them. And I genuinely hope, like, I don't know, right now, you are by far the biggest. And I can tell you guys straight up for a fact that Danny is so much fun to hang out with in real. He's the exact same dude. It's amazing. It's so much fun to be around him. So it's like the idea of going to one of these events without him, I just can't contemplate it. Because, like, imagine if we did, like, the Atlanta one without you around. It would have been the most boring thing I could imagine. Like, I genuinely was so happy. Me and Danny, like, had a aquarium date. Like, this aquarium sells alcohol. We got beers and walked around in, like, the largest aquarium in the Northern Hemisphere. Like, mind-blowing stuff.
That was good, man. That was fun. That was actually awesome. So, I mean, the thing is, I know that he's always complaining LA costs him the most, but I mean, I had the most fun in LA, and then actually that was the first event I was invited to, and I feel like, again, we talked about it, there's such history in those events, and again, people that didn't like Gunver's Gun back in the day or had something against Gunver's Gun, and so that's why we were never officially never invited. There wasn't a single email from Jared until after COVID. That's when the first one that I went to, I saw that email in Gunver's Gun inbox. So yeah, it wasn't directed to me. It was directed to Gunver's Gun in 2022, I believe, a couple of years ago. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, he's inviting us. That's because I know this event's been going around since 2015, 16, I think 16. And so we had an eye on it, and we knew that, but we were never officially invited, even though we were at the time in 2016 the biggest Nerf creators at the time, right? So it was always everybody else, but not us.
I was a holdout. So what had happened was, obviously Hasbro took control of it, because to use the Nerf Blaster trademark, he had to work with Hasbro. I was a holdout because everybody above me had screwed up in some way. So the only reason why I was invited to, like, the 2020 or 2021 one was because everybody else above me couldn't go. He couldn't invite people like PDK or Drac or anything like that because Hasbro didn't want them there. But for some reason, I was cleared, which I still don't understand at all. And then when he dropped working with Hasbro and just made it open to be a blaster battle, which was probably the move, I don't know, that I was still there. And I think that's the only reason I'm still there. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not invited to go back again. And that's fine.
I'm glad you were there, and I probably won't go if you're not there, because again, if I was there, PDK wasn't kind of having it. He was doing his own thing, and I guess I would have to make truth with Sophie like I did and maybe hang out with her and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to go if you go. So we talked about that, man. I mean, we had fun there. That's what we met. So I'm glad
it's the most fun. There. It's so much fun to actually meet people in real life that it's like, all of a sudden, like, most of the people here know who I am and have seen my content, and I can ask them, like, what's your favorite video of mine and stuff. It is a ton of fun. And to be able to expect, like, I'm good. If I never get to go back, I'm content, because I've been able to experience that so many times now. But my best memories in the past, like, decade are, like, I still have the picture from, like, a couple of, like, it was a Dallas one before you'd been invited, but it's like, I still have a picture from that. It's like one of my favorite memories is getting drunk and playing that electric shuffle with Coop and PDK and stuff like that. I had an absolute blast. Even though I keep saying I'm drunk, I do get, when you have an open bar tab through somebody like Jared, I drink a lot, okay? I don't normally drink. Like, I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. I probably haven't had a beer in a while, but when you're hanging out with a bunch of really cool people, like, yeah, it's fun to, like, that's what we do. Like, you and I sat in the lobby of the hotel and had like 6 beers one night. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was good, man. And so, yeah, that's the whole part. I've seen that one picture where you guys all hung out. There was a big picture in Dallas. Like, there was Coop, it was PDK, it was you, it was a whole bunch of big YouTubers. And so I was like, oh, that'd be cool to be part of that kind of picture.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that'll be happening again, because I feel like a lot of those guys are now just dropping out, because I feel like at the same time, like PDK, I think he got married or he's engaged. So, I mean, he's probably busy with all that shit. He's not going to be coming out with it.
Yeah, he's also like, he's made so much money off YouTube and stuff, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Which is like, I've got to hang out with PDK, right? And he was so much fun to be around. I remember, like, what was the last SoFi one? He just basically played with the RC tank thing the entire time. That's all he did. And it was hilarious to me. And like, we had so much fun hanging out.
I saw him walking with Sophie when I was not okay with Sophie. I was at VidCon, okay? They passed by me. They knew who I was. We never met or anything, but they knew. They did not acknowledge me, man, okay? They went by me. So that was the first encounter at VidCon at this other place. And then because I was kind of busy looking for the X-Shot booth, so I was just like, whatever, man. I know PDK, I know Sophie, so whatever. They knew who I was. Maybe they were scared I was in that tactical vest. Everybody's looking at me. Security guys were like, what the hell is this guy doing? But anyways,
that's funny, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, like the thumbnail picture that I used for you in this one that you sent me, it's like, that's how Danny went to VidCon, and we almost didn't get in.
No, I got a couple of times questioned by security guards as to who I am and all this stuff. So it wasn't. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, I went to the X-Shot booth, did my thing there, exited, and then I saw just PDK with his sister walking in. And he was like a couple doors down, and I yelled out after him. So I was the one that approached him. I said, PDK, what's going on, man? And then we started talking, and we actually talked like me and you for like probably half hour, man, outside there in the hot sun. I won't forget it. And because I posted that picture on my Instagram as well when I was with him, right? So it's not like I'm making this stuff up. And so he was telling me, he's like, oh, I'm going to the booth, X-Shot booth, and then I'm driving right away to the blaster battle, the biggest blaster in the world, whatever, in Dallas, because that was the same one that I saw him on Thursday, and Saturday was that battle, right? So he told me that, and so we talked there half hour. So I go home to Vancouver. I'm back home on Saturday. I get an email from Jared, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, do you want to come to the LA one, which is the following week, Saturday? So I'm like, dude, I was just in LA, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come down because Libby's going to be there from X-Shot and all this stuff. So this is how it all worked out. Then I come there. I see PDK. We talked for like half an hour at VidCon. Suddenly, he's not talking. He just said like barely hi to me, and he didn't want to talk to me the rest of the time. And like you said, he was driving that RC. So the guy completely flipped. So I don't know why or what was said after that.
Who knows?
Unless he was just busy.
I just assume everybody hates me, so. I mean, I can sympathize. That's why we make a great team, because we don't give a. Yeah. We'll drink the beer. We'll make the jokes. We'll have fun. If they don't want to have fun with us, that's fine.
But he had fun. We talked, and now suddenly he doesn't want to talk. Like, what did I didn't say anything wrong there. So, anyways, it was pretty funny. But
maybe he had a really traumatic drive back to LA.
Maybe. And I respect PDK, man, for all he's done. So I got no problems with him. I like the guy. So yeah, I'm just saying that was my experience with PDK those 2 times that I've seen him and met him. That's about it.
But I think he's been the events I've been to. I think he was scheduled to go to like 2 of them and didn't show for different reasons. But I mean, I know he's a busy dude, so like I get it. No, but he's super fun to hang out with when he's in a good mood. I think that goes for pretty much everybody. Yeah. But yeah, it's like those events are like, I literally wouldn't have been able to hang out with you, because there's no way in hell I would ever message Mac Danny Gunn from the channel. Like, you are one of the first channels I ever watched on YouTube. So to like just reach out and be like, hey man, what's going on? Like, I couldn't fathom doing that, because I don't see myself as being that important. And I honestly don't know how much you paid attention to my content or anything. But when we hung out, like, yeah, we literally just like hung out in the lobby of the hotel the night you got there. We sat there drinking beers for like an hour until the bar closed. Like, I'm like sitting here like, I've watched this dude on YouTube like 11 years ago, and now I'm sitting here having a beer with him. How does life work out this way?
Well, it was good times, and again, like out of that, I guess we came out with that Nerf War Titans video and all this stuff. So I mean, good things came out of it. So hopefully we'll keep doing it some more. And again, like we'll try to do part 2, and we'll see if anybody else would be interested to do another one with us. So I don't know. We'll see,
I got some people that I could invite. It's just a matter of if I actually want those people to be around when we do that video.
Yeah, I know. I think. Well, the second part for me, the one I wrote, the part 2, it's already written and ready to go. So it's just to us again and with BG. So same kind of thing repeated again. So I don't see it. We don't need to change.
I have friends that aren't YouTubers that I could invite, but I also have friends that are YouTubers that would be interested. But I don't know. I've been having issues lately, so I'm not sure.
Listen, it's simple. I feel like it starts in that world, in the world where Danny was battling Walcom. Danny's still stuck being your butler, and he doesn't.
Hopefully, this one at the end of this one, I lose because I don't want to win twice in a row. Well, I guess BG technically won the last one. We should both be BG's butler.
Technically, you beat me and he beat you. So I guess since you beat me, I end up being your butler, but I don't realize I stay there longer than a week and I get pissed off, and then we get into a thing again. So I think
you haven't shown me the script yet, so
yeah, I'll get it to you. But that's really how it'll start. So I think it'll be fun again. So hopefully, I'm hoping in May we get to film that and we release it for the summer.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have the only weekend I know I have because I can't wait for the next Jared's Epic Blaster Battle to fall on the same weekend I'm doing that Nerf tournament. I know it's going to happen. But yeah, I don't have anything planned in May at all. So the only date that I have taken up right now is that date, that like second week of August or whatever. So yeah, we 100%. I hope we get to do more than just this one. We'll find out.
No, and I like you said, hopefully we can get to do one for your channel as well. So that's the
how
plan.
much does it cost to get my passport renewed? Because I can drive up there.
I don't know, man.
At some point.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I mean, maybe for part 3, you can come down here and we'll see. So we'll sort it out. But if we do, it would be like our summer video. If we do one like that a year, it would be pretty fun. So to keep it going.
Yeah, no, and I really like the fact that last when we hung out in Atlanta, you were like, let's film a short really quick, and we did like that really cool short with Sophie, and there was that random guy that's like, yeah, you be in the video too, and it's like, you're so cool about that. It's like getting uploaded. This channel, this dude has millions of subs. He's like, yeah, random dude, you want to film this video? You shot that like 20, 25 minutes, like just a bunch of different cuts. Like that was awesome. Yeah, I hope we get to do more fun stuff like that. That's how I feel Nerf content should be. I mean, it was awesome. Like seriously, Danny, you've completely helped fix my outlook on content creation, and I cannot ever thank you enough for that. That last short that I just did wouldn't exist had I not already worked around with you.
So, no, I love that style, and I keep telling you, keep doing. I know it takes longer, and you got to plan it out, but if you stick to that kind of style for shorts, that'd be awesome, man. Just do something like that with narration and some funny like that, and with action and quick cuts. I think it'll work for you, man. You keep doing it. I like it. So if I like it, I know others will too. So
that's like the greatest thing anybody could ever tell me.
I found that video. I found the video very entertaining, and it had funny parts too. So I really, really liked it, man. It was awesome.
Hopefully it only gets better from here because I'm learning from the absolute master at it. I don't think anybody can do that content better than you can right now. And the fact that you can turn those around so much. Like, do you have like how long does it actually take you to shoot like a Nerf Clone Wars video?
It probably takes me a couple hours to do some of them. So I mean, sometimes I'm my own enemy in terms of like I want to reveal like a wide out of like the clone and myself standing there and then all the stuff which takes time, man, to set up, right? So it's where it's like I'm like, do I really even need to show that? I could just probably do it the easier way, but I just make it more complicated. So the problem is like I'll day before I'll also sit down and write it out and then do the shots that I want and basically get it all ready for the shot day. So it does take some preparation compared to some other videos, but BG is always here. He gives me ideas. I kind of run the script by him too, and I'm like, well, it'd be funny. You think this is funny? And he kind of provides some input too. So we kind of run it by him, and he provides some of his stuff too, and then we kind of take it from there. And even when we film, like you said, there is that room for improvising or like, oh, you know what, this is probably funnier, let's just do this, forget what we wrote. So it all kind of works like that, hand in hand, but it takes a while. It's not as quick as people think.
How old do you feel when somebody like Sufwin Adris says, I remember Danny from my childhood? Like, how does that make you feel?
Everybody on TikTok, when I go live, that's what they say, like, oh, my childhood, I remember when I was 6 years old. I'm like, shit, how old are you now, man? So I mean, actually, this is what I say to people. You must have had an amazing childhood if you had gun versus gun part of it, because these kids that are growing up these days don't have that, and I feel bad for them. So there you go. I good for you, man. Your childhood must have been awesome. That's what I say. And I'm proud I was part of it.
It's like I don't remember when Gun vs. Gun first started. Like I said, I watched you guys way before I even had a channel. Now my channel, at least in terms of Nerf content, my 10-year anniversary is next weekend. And I still don't know what I'm gonna do for it. It actually happens on a stream date, so I'm not quite sure. But nice. I want to have a video out the same day, and I've been thinking about how to do that. Calyx, you don't have to spam, brother.
What's going on here?
How are you always doing live streams? I'm gonna have to time you out for that one. You don't need to spam it. But yeah, it's you just do live streams, Well, so that's something we could talk about too, because like you have like a 24-hour Danny TV going on.
Yes, a lot of people think that that's a live, but it's just really just loopbacks of my long format videos. So that we kind of do that for our algorithm, and at least I was told that by the network that I signed with. So they run that for me, and sometimes I even feel like they're running too many. So it is what it is, but I've been doing that.
I mean, I saw a lot of channels, Linus Tech Tips, a lot of big channels doing like 24/7 live streams. I don't know how many still do that, but yeah, I saw that quite a bit.
Well, they tell me that it helps with algorithm and discovery and all this other stuff. So again, I'm at 4.3 million subscribers. I'm not gonna doubt them if something's working, it's working. You know what I mean?
I swear to God, the last time I checked your channel, it was at 2.83. Have you seriously gained like 1 million subscribers in the past like 2-3 months, maybe?
It looks like it, man. I guess so. I mean, I don't even know what the hell's going on half the time, but yeah, that's what's been going on, man. It's crazy shit.
I gotta
4.3, man.
My entire content idea. It doesn't make any sense to like. I mean, I guess if I actually cared about subscriber numbers, but I really don't. I almost think like subscriber numbers are useless now because, like I said, there's so many channels that are like they did YouTube Shorts and they're like, oh, they're flying right past me. And then they actually do content, and then you see like on their video page, it's like, oh, they're doing normal content, and it's getting like 4K views.
Yeah,
how do you have 500,000 subscribers and only have like 5K views on a video? Oh, it's because it's all shorts.
Exactly, and you know what? All the bigger creators that I've seen that do shorts, when you look at their long format videos, they're not doing well unless it's a compilation of their shorts. People will watch that, but aside from that, their long format videos are not working, and so either you need a different channel or you just stick to shorts. So that's exactly it. So this is why I kept telling you, sprinkle them in. Don't just push fully for that, because
he's been telling me this for years. It's not new information. It's just I'm terrible at listening to other people's very good advice.
So sprinkle them in, get your subscribers down, but you don't want to have too many because then that could ruin the channel overall, unless you just want to focus on shorts. So I like crafting a long video. That's my thing. And I kind of got that out of my system because I did that 2-hour-long zombie strike video, which I'm sure there are people like, oh, Walcom doesn't upload enough. It's like, screw you. I just uploaded like 43 videos in one video a month or two ago. Like, give me a break. Yeah.
That video's turned out really good for me too. I like that super long form content. I wish I could do that more, and I probably will do one for like a whole bunch of different Nerf stuff, because those videos, despite the fact that they overload my editing software, are really fun.
No, here's the thing, man. What shorts teaches you is that if I had the time and if I was making the money that I hope I'm making, I would definitely focus a lot more on long format as well. But then they would the long format would probably take a lot way longer for me to produce the content that I want based on how I know the shorts work, because then I would give you like you said, you have to trim your video to fit it into the shorts format, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that takes time, but then you're basically taking out the unnecessary stuff. You're giving them what they want. So really, that's what I would do with a long format. Just give you all this like almost Mr. Beast stuff, like quick cuts, whole bunch of stuff in it. And if I could do that, I would. But it's all about the moolah. And right now, I'm not making enough to actually do that kind of stuff. But I would love to do it, right? So that's the thing. Shorts, at least I know the ones that I know would work is the ones that I spend the most time on. And same thing, like I will watch it and say, okay, this has to get to a point quicker, or this line, whatever I said, it's too long. Just cut it to like the last part of it, just so that we can get to the next thing, because you want it to be quick. You don't want them to swipe away. The attention span is very low in shorts, so you gotta use your time wisely, right? So I feel like it's the same thing with long format. You want that retention as much as you can. So if I could waste and spend that much time on long format, I would, but I can't, because that's not working right now. So it is what it is.
The only analytics I pay attention to really is the one where it shows you like where people are watching more of your video or less of your video. Yeah. And the thing that's been bothering me, I changed, like I stopped doing outdoor range footage because one, it's so weather dependent and nothing ruins the schedule like having to wait on the weather to film something. So I tried to build something into my studio where I could still do range style content, but I wanted it to be more like Call of Duty or something like that. I wanted that ability to like film content inside where it's like a shooting range kind of thing.
Right.
And I noticed, like, when I was looking at, like, my last, like, 4 or 5 videos, that I lose, like, 11% of people every single time I switch to firing a blaster. No matter how I edit that content, it just seems like people click off. It's almost like people don't want to see the blaster actually firing. Like, I don't know how to win on this. Like, the second I start showing the blaster firing, nobody cares. And it just turns out to be a thing. It's like, so I'm almost like, maybe I should just do the facing from that and do, like, 2 seconds of B-roll of it firing, and that's it. Because it almost seems like nobody wants to see the actual blaster being used in that sense. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know what YouTube wants anymore. It's not like the videos are doing bad. It's just annoying where it's like, oh yeah, no, you lost 14% of your viewers within 12 seconds of you switching to this firing content.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff you got to look into and see, because sometimes what I make a mistake on, and I kind of told you that too, in long format, like the endings, the video technically should just end. The more you like talk and they know it's ending and you like subscribe, click like, they're signing off. And so that algorithm and that engagement is like dropping off big time at the end of the videos. And so that also teaches, like I've learned that from shorts. Like if I do like let's say I defeat a clone or BG defeats me, and then we know that battle's over, but then the character is now talking, saying, hey, buy this t-shirt or click like or subscribe for the next 3 seconds. The video itself would actually do bad because a lot of people have signed off after that. Nobody cares about that shit. And they know the battle's over. And now the whole video suffers because I wanted you to subscribe. So basically now when we do is like when whoever defeats whoever is just cuts off. That's it. The end.
There's no time I stopped doing outros completely. A lot of people like, was the video meant to end there? And like the closest thing I've had to an outro in a while was that musket video. Because like I jammed the blaster at the very end. I'm like, well, never mind. As I cut myself off from whatever I was talking about. And I put like basically a title screen that says Walcom. We'll never know how Walcom meant to end that video. But I've stopped completely. I've stopped, like, I just end the video where it ends, and that's it. And people are like, was the video meant to end there? Did you mess up this video? It's like, no, outros, like, you could watch it. You could go to your outros. It's like, if there's only 3% of your people watching in the last 30 seconds, screw it. If I cut it off at like, just before I do that outro, and I have 40%, not 40, but, like, 24% of people watching at that very end, that's great. Yeah, don't lead people up. And it's like, I try to do my summaries without actually doing a summary. It's really hard because it's like, that's also the thing. It's like, I see so many people, it's like, they watch the video and they just skip to like the very end to get your summary. I find myself doing that with a lot of channels. It's like, is that good? Like, technically, yes, because they're still watching the content. But if you're only watching my 10-minute video for that minute long of content, it's like, it sucks. So like, you could make the argument, right? That's like, yes, all of your content could be done in a minute. Well, sure, I guess you're right. But I watched 5-hour-long Frederick Knudsen videos on EVE Online, and I've seen that same video like 8 times now, all the way through. I love those long. Could that be a shorter bit of content? Sure, but that would ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I want to know how he lived, not how he died, kind of thing.
No, I know, and that's the thing. We are not that audience. We are not these kids coming up that are used to this short stuff and TikTok and all this quick stuff. That's the problem too. So I'm not into that much short stuff. I feel like a lot of the shorts that I watch are like overloaded with stuff that I can't even comprehend what the hell's going on in this video, because there's a guy talking, there's just showing this, there's text overlay. There's so much in 30 seconds. I want to barf. So I have no idea what the hell was all about. But
there's Subway Surfers gameplay and a Family Guy clip and somebody slicing like Play-Doh in half while somebody's trying to talk about something else. Yeah, it's complete overload.
It's too much. But these kids these days grab all that and they actually understand it and like it. So that's what I'm saying. Everything is fast paced. So if they watch those kind of videos and those videos get like millions of views, and then suddenly they'll tune in on like a shorts that's like not edited and doesn't have any overlays or any voiceovers, and it's like slower, they are swiping away because they're used to like going fast, right? Suddenly it's slow. So this is what I'm saying. You either have to catch up, keep up with the times, or I don't know if that, like I said, the content's not for me. I like to sit down and watch whatever it is, like you said, in long format, but that's not what it is these days.
Yeah, right? you drop an hour-and-a-half long video on the speed run records for I don't know, Aero the Acrobat for the Super Nintendo. I will watch that entire video and love it. You know what I mean? Like I love long form content. That's why I've tried to do long form content, and yeah, it's like making 40 videos in one. It worked for me because I like, how do I get a 5-minute, 7-minute long video on like the quad rod? Even though I did a review back in the day, it's like, how do I can do that in 3 minutes now, and it would still be fun. And that's the kind of content that I've like, it helps me get that stuff out of the way. It's like, everyone's like, tag backs, everyone wants tag backs. Like, how do I get an 8-minute long video on the Nerf Mono Blast? I can't. So go on.
To me, it's funny why people are tuning away when you're doing the firing test. I'm trying to, in my head, like, process that. I am not too sure. Maybe they don't like the angle. Maybe they want it first person.
I've tried so many different, like, if you watch like my last 10 videos that have that, I have tried a different layout. The last one I did, I had this camera like this, so I could have that portrait style, and I synced it with my other camera, so you could see when I pointed, you could still see the barrel and stuff here, but then you could also see me pointing. It's like, I thought that was the best, and I think the least amount of people watched that one. It's like, if I had another like $3,000, I could do all of the LED stuff I want. I could get the backdrops and stuff I want. But like, buying that kind of stuff is expensive. Like, I want LED strips that go on the ceiling and stuff. I've got a lot of plans for it, but it costs so much money.
You should just try. Maybe it's just sensory overload, and they just want to. Maybe you should just try have like a side profile of the blaster, and that's it. Don't even show the targets. Just show it firing, like a close range. Like, that's really like just the star of the frame, and that's it. Maybe they just want to see the blaster without anything else. I don't know. Try that.
Yeah, what tuned me into doing like the actual like range with the target is because I was doing that footage like when I had like the 2 shelves and I had the target in between the shelves. Those videos were getting double or triple the views that my videos where I went outdoors and did it were. And I know a lot of people like, I really like the outdoor footage, but I sat there and like, well, not only is that the hardest content I make, I would rather put that content into that effort into anything else, but it also is like completely pointless and subjective. I know like it's good for people who have never touched a blaster before to get that kind of content, but to lug all the equipment outside on a day where I can get that content, film what is bar none the worst camera stuff I've ever done in one scene, like it's frustrating to do that because I can't make that look good, and then putting it out there when it's like I was getting more video or more views just doing it inside. And that's like, I had the cage, right? I had that like cage where all the darts would collect in. But it was so hard to film the targets and stuff in that cage. So I got rid of that, and I'm trying to get it more streamlined, but now I have all this empty space, and it's so frustrating. I'm trying to figure out how to get it, because like, I know this can be done, but how do I do it in a way that it looks good? And it's like, I'll figure it out at some point, but like, that's the kind of stuff, like, I want, if I can film indoors, I filmed that, a lot of my content at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And like, you wouldn't know that, but it's like, if I don't get out there, especially like in winter, when not only is it raining, but we get sunshine for like, what, 6 hours, if there's sunshine at all, it's like, and I wake up at like noon, or if I wake up at 2, it's like, well, that's not going to happen because I was up until 6 o'clock in the morning working on something else. And I'll figure it out, but yeah, I don't know if you have to deal with that very much, but
well,
it's
that's the
frustrating for
beauty.
me.
That's the beauty of keep doing videos. Like you said, you'll figure it out because the more you do, the more you'll have info on it and see what the hell works, what doesn't. So, I mean, same thing with me, man. I look at some of the stuff and see what has worked, what hasn't worked, and you learn. The more you do, you learn more. So, I mean, that's the life of a creator, man, YouTube creator.
I almost thought about buying like really thick like green screen material, kind of like the one I have back here. It's not as transparent as the one you showed me before, but like really thick stuff, and lining my entire range with that so I could make it look like an indoor range kind of thing, and use green screen. But then it's like, oh, if the blaster has any green on it, that won't work. Darn. It's so frustrating. Like, there's so many things I want to do. Again, I'm just one dude. And what little income I make, I put almost immediately back into the channel. Like, I think this camera is up to like $3,600. I spent so much money on a camera.
But I mean, that's the beauty of it. And I mean, I'm sure that's why you have all these hardcore followers and stuff, man. They realize that, and I'm sure they appreciate that. So, I mean, like I said, man, just keep grinding, man. That's all you got to do. Keep the grind alive.
Yeah, I could do better, but I really want to get to the point where it's like, I just enjoy making content and I don't have to worry about, oh, I have to do a video because I have to. I don't want to do that. And I'm trying to find that very good, happy medium. But again, like, as I told you, it's like, man, I have like 4 videos that I had to completely reshoot. And it's the musket video, I sort of I shot that 4 times. The Awakened video, I shot that literally 4 times. Like, I'm so bad about that. Fallon says,
yeah, go ahead.
How come you got rid of the really nice dart catch you made? Better lighting for the range to be able to see what's happening? Yeah, that's like literally why, because it's like trying to film that thing was near impossible, and it was really difficult. But the funniest part about that is since I swapped off that cage, I think my views have went down. Like, people seem to really like, it's like, how do I frame this stuff better? It's such a, like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, see, like, Britfoam just said Coop's firing demos were so bare bones, but his older ones had cool targets. Like, Coop literally had, like, a side room, like a living room or something, with just random targets he would shoot at from, like, 10 feet away. It's really difficult trying to figure out what people want to see.
I'm going to tell you what they want to see. They want to see simple stuff. So I feel like if you overcomplicate it, it ain't going to work. Simplify it. I feel like exactly that. He had the targets closer so you can see it clearer. And then it was just basically white walls. I feel like there wasn't much to it. So when you break that down, it's easy to look at. I feel like I understand. I would want the targets further away too to figure out the accuracy and all that stuff. But because obviously if they're closer, then I don't even know if it works well. But on video, it's just simpler because you got to look at it. Like, I feel like the more advanced stuff we make, the audience actually is going to tune away. They want it simpler, like almost grade 5 level, man, shit. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, even visually, the less, the better, I think.
Yeah, Shane just said the cage was way better, which I wish you would have said that before I demolished the cage, but...
You should have put it to the vote, man. You should have put it in the community page, voted on it.
Again, it was like such a nightmare to try to film because it's like I had like a really oblong window and it didn't even work for its intended purpose. I would shoot it and the dart would just come back and hit me in the face anyway. And I don't know, like I could probably scooch forward a bit more and that would give me better framing and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think the cage made it necessarily better. It might have looked better. Maybe that's what it was. I could hang more stuff to make it like more plain white and stuff like that.
I would do that. Make it more white and come in closer to it, man. Don't have it so far.
What I really wanted is to like basically have like the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare like gun range, where it's like you could press a button and go into this holographic range and shoot digital targets and stuff like that in Call of Duty. I wanted that kind of feeling. So it's like you could see the blaster in action to a degree. And I might be too far back from it for it to be, because I'm like 15 feet farther back than I used to with the cage.
Coming closer, man. I would try that and just clean it up, make it all a little bit wider, just cleaner, and then that might work.
So like Shane said, it was reminiscent of Carnival Shooting Gallery. I still want that. I don't have the materials. I need like more LEDs and I need more drapery to kind of frame the targets better. Because that was like the main thing on my head right now. Like I could go to Joann's probably, well, not tonight, it's 7:30, but I could go to Joann's tomorrow and get like just, yeah, we're gonna be done here in a little bit. Get some kind of drapery to put behind the targets. Like as you noticed, I completely changed the target setup because I redid everything, and like I'm changing it as I go along, and it's like that negative space behind the targets is my greatest nemesis right now.
No, I think if you start cleaning it up, come in closer on it and try that and see how that works. Might work better. Just that part.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to try that for my next video. So thank you very much for those. I have to refilm my little hamster. That's the next video, by the way. I had to refilm the shooting content on that way because it was blurry.
Also, yeah, let's not refilm stuff, man. You got to learn from that. Figure it out.
It was like tracking my freaking hand when I was doing and I can't see it on the little screen. And I stopped using this camera for that range footage because I had to color correct and do a whole bunch of stuff with this. I've just been using this camera and this camera for my range footage, and it works out, I think, just as good. It's a little, like, I wish it was a little bit more vibrant, but yeah.
Hey, man, you saw, I don't know how many people know, but the Nerf War, the Titans video that we did.
I can't believe you got like 800,000 views or whatever it is off of a cell phone video.
The whole video was filmed on an iPhone, by the way, guys. iPhone.
And like an
14.
iPhone, yeah, like an older one. I'm like, what the hell? My friend Hawkeye, he was in the chat earlier. He just uploaded like his Rambly vlog or whatever it is. He does like mold casting for custom Nerf parts, which is super cool. And he's like, he was filming it with his Galaxy S24. It's not even like a Pro. It's just a normal S24. And the footage I'm watching this, like, holy crap, that's like just as good as my Sony FX30 here. It's like, we're basically to the point where getting one of those cameras is almost pointless. Like he was doing macro and then normal wide, so like he was doing it perfectly. I'm like, why the heck do I have this huge camera?
The reason I used an iPhone because I knew it was going to take a long to film, and then if we actually had that camera where we had to actually manually focus, then we had to deal with the exposure, the ISO. It would probably add another hour, man, of shit.
That's what I used to film the musket short. I used this camera, and that's like one of the first times where I've set manual focus like every single shot, and it sucked. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we've had this on Gun vs. Gun where we would manually focus, and same shit. It would be like blurry, and we're like, fuck, man, now we gotta redo this, so you're wasting time. But we were using those cameras for Gun vs. Gun, so it is what it is. But I kind of learned if I wanted to do these things quicker, and I have enough lighting, probably I can get away with it with an iPhone at the moment. So I mean, that 700,000 views off of an iPhone, that's pretty fun. I kind of get a kick out of it too. So
and I mean, nobody would know. Like that's the other thing. It's like I don't think anybody knew. It's like, oh, this was shot on an iPhone, like an old iPhone at that, like one that's like 3 years old. Like it turned out perfectly. So like you told me, like for my thumbnails, I used to use this camera and just like film a blank 4K thing of me holding the blaster and then get a still of that. You told me to like use my phone, so I've been like taking my little stylus out of my phone and using this to like on a 3-second timer, hitting that, grabbing the blaster and getting And if that's been working really good, I think my thumbnails are a hell of a lot better now because of that. That's advice that you gave me.
Well, I like your thumbnails better now. I do the same. So for my iPhone, I have the watch. So I have to actually, I tap it and I have 3 seconds and then I set up. So it's kind of similar scenario. Or again, I have to get BG to do it and stuff. So take the thumbnail for me. Which
I've had to get my wife to pull focus a couple of times for me because like getting the focus right can be I have a Galaxy Gear smartwatch. I've been using the Starfield one, which Starfield wasn't a very good game. This watch I like the way it looks. It's super thin. And on top of that, it's like its battery life is like a week Because
Wow.
it's not telling me I'm dying from a heart attack every 5 minutes like my other watch does. My other watch is like, hey, you've been at like a 96 resting heart rate. You need to go see a doctor. It's like, watch, I don't need you to tell me I'm dying. I went to a Tool concert with my brother, and the entire concert my watch was telling me I'm gonna die. It's like, I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about, watch.
That's funny.
Classic for real with a $2 super chat says, greetings from
Nice.
OK trying to see Eclipse, drove 6.5 hours. That's still
Jesus.
2 days away. We have no hope. I think if you're in like the very corner of Washington, you can see a partial eclipse. But
I'm
yeah,
not into that.
I can't imagine how cool it will be to see that in person, but at the same time, I can't imagine how absolutely destroyed that entire section of the country is going to be from people trying to see it.
Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm not into that stuff, man. So whatever.
I saw a screenshot. Somebody showed all of the Airbnbs, and the one that's in the middle of the entire pathway, it's like every single Airbnb is sold out. It's crazy. They're dedicating like emergency
Holy
stuff
shit.
to this solar eclipse thing.
People got nothing else to do, man.
Yeah, that's what it says. The background behind the targets maybe have a pegboard wall there with various blasters. I could probably do that. I don't know if that would be optimal.
Too busy.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm probably gonna put up something just plain but pops out a little bit better. I liked having the 3 targets there, but maybe I'll get rid of the other 2 for right now. I have used the 3 target setup in a recent video, and I had a lot of fun with that. It was the Awaken video. But I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna try to crop it in. And if people complain, but if the views go up, I'm going to do that. I just want to see over the next like 5-6 videos how the up down. I'm not going to lie. I feel really like pressured when like Bradley Phillips always asks me how far away are your targets, huh? Like how far away and like every other video I see him do that. I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm not doing a 100-foot range test like you. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
But can they tell if you're 20 feet away or 10 feet away? I don't think they can.
Well, it's like, especially with this camera, because it's got the fisheye lens, it looks like they're like 100 feet away. And it's like, well, not really, but it's like they're only like, I think I marked it at 23 feet is how far away they are. But it's so hard to also frame shots with that because I'm on the very edge of it, and I don't want you to see all the garbage behind me. So like, I think, yeah, cropping it in like another 5-10 feet and just being about 15 feet from the target's going to work better. I think you're right.
Yep. Do that and see.
See if we got any other content. I enjoy the videos where you, Walcom, are happier and genuinely enjoying what you're doing. Like when you are having a blast shooting down the drones, you were just a big kid having fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I mean, that's the thing that makes Danny's content also stand out from a lot of other people is the fact that Danny's content, he's legitimately having fun with BG in those videos. So like, it makes a lot of sense. I don't have a good crop where BG is visible.
I'll move for the move. This BG is always he's always in my way and they're always interfering, man. But
that's why he gets shot up so much in your videos. Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, we do it, like you said, part of it is having fun and doing all the stuff that you want to do. If it's not fun, why do it? So, like you said, I understand from your side, if you're not into the blaster, what is the point? So, I mean, we have fun doing the videos. Sometimes we get into a thing because I have a different way of looking at it. He has a different way of looking at it. But then we always come up with some kind of a solution or we step back and then later on we're like, you know what? You were probably right. Let's film it that way. So we do kind of have that creative freedom as well as like that friction where we kind of like, no, man, this is not working. Do it this way. But, as either if he makes me laugh or I make him laugh, then I know it's working and I know others would like it. So that's kind of the gauge we kind of use as well.
Yeah. And I mean, BG, you've got the coolest, like the fact that you get to be in these videos with him and make these, like, you guys make an excellent team. That's the coolest thing. Never take what you're doing right now for granted because there's probably going to be a day where that doesn't happen anymore and you're going to miss it for the rest of your life. So remember these moments and cherish them.
Yeah,
they mean a lot, man. Like, you guys make a killer team. You have no idea. Someday you're going to sit there and be like, holy crap, literally hundreds of millions of people have seen me in these videos. And you're just going to sit there and be like, that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I told him, I'm like, listen, man, I came up with all the Nerf 4 Gun Baby series on Gunver's Gun, and the highest views videos on Gunver's Gun to date right now is Nerf 4 Gun Baby 2 and then Nerf Gun Baby 6. So like top 3 are gun babies. So I mean that's where it all started, and I mean that's where he got the biggest following. But again, he was brought into it, man, as a little. He was like a freaking 2-year-old. I don't even know, 3-year-old. I have no idea back then. So it was pretty crazy that he was able to pull it off. Yeah. So, but thanks for that. Yeah, we keep doing it, man, and at some point this guy will take over. I guess we'll see how it goes.
You will inherit the legacy and know exactly how to do it.
Yeah, I mean he's been with here since day one, so we'll see how it goes, man.
I was a 3-year-old munchkin, just
little
baby.
Now you're a grown-up guy.
Born to be a YouTuber, literally. It's almost like you were engineered in a lab to create foam dart flinging videos.
It looks like it, and he's got a whole bunch of like Walcom yourself. He's learning from the best, man. So he's got to take all that in and see how he applies it later on when he gets bigger.
I catch myself doing it all the freaking times. I love, like, I feel like I know a little bit about YouTube, obviously in a completely different space than we're at, but that's why our interactions are so cool, is because we both kind of dabble in things, and you've done a lot of more content than I ever will, and the stuff that you've taught me has legitimately worked, and I love trying to help other content creators going forward. It's like all the time, it's like, hey, friend, that's a YouTube content, you need help, like, I will gladly, like, whatever questions you have, I will do my best to answer them and stuff like that. You'd be surprised how many content creators have their heads so far up their own butt that they think they know everything, and then you're just like, okay, whatever, have fun. I can't tell you how many of my friends have called me an idiot and stuff for things I've said in the past, and now I watch them struggle, and it's like, wow, you should have probably listened to me, because I do it, and it works perfectly good, and I think it would be even better if you did it, but whatever, call me an idiot. Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter.
Hey man, if people want your help, they'll ask, and then you share it. But otherwise, if people don't, I mean, what are you gonna do? That's on them.
Yeah, Hawkeye told me, it's like, you know what? Let them ask for help. Stop offering to help people. Like, yeah, you're probably right. I keep getting bit by this. I think you're right. So again, I like Danny. You've been absolutely freaking invaluable to my life. I am so glad to be able to call you a friend. I cannot wait until we get to. If you're saying May, I'm really hoping it's in May, because I'd love to film. Hopefully we have enough time to do a video Nerf Titans 2, and then something funny and stupid on my channel, which I can come up with. Obviously, I like to do a lot of stuff off the cuff, but we can come up with something fun for the both of us for a nice video. I think I can't wait to have you and BG back. I really cannot wait.
It'll be fun, and it'll be fun. And even though I script my stuff, I was brought up improvising stuff, so I'm down for that, man. Like I said, that stuff comes out the best. So we can we'll hopefully plan. We might have to do a 2-day thing. We'll do our video first, then next day we'll film your stuff, because probably sneaking it all into one day is going to be a lot again, as we witnessed last time. So I'm down for that. Let's plan it. Hopefully everything works out, that we can come down in May one weekend and get that shit done.
Yeah, I'll have all of May cleared out, ready and waiting. Classic for a wheel with another $2 super chat. P.S. The eclipse path likely wrecked from weather anyway. I heard about that they're looking at really cloudy, bad weather for that specific Monday afternoon, early afternoon in Texas and stuff like that. Apparently it's gonna look like it's gonna be cloudy and rainy. It's gonna be funny if nobody can get good footage of that. Because that's why most people, they're just trying to get YouTube footage of it. There's gonna be a whole onslaught of videos like, I went to the eclipse. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Danny? You want to plug your, I mean, not that everybody here should know who you are, but if you want to plug your stuff really quick, like.
No, I don't need to plug anything, man. I'm just glad we were able to, connect like this, and hopefully we do some more. But I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube. How many likes we got here? 131 likes. Not enough, man. Next time we got to double that up. I'm all about the numbers, man. So hopefully whatever we can do to double that up next time, we'll try to do that shit.
Next time we'll just have BG playing like Warzone, and I'll just put that in the background the entire time. So we'll be sitting here talking, and then we can feed his Warzone stream into where the asteroids and stuff are, and that'll get everybody's attention. It'll work like that. It'll be perfect.
But that was thanks for connecting with us, man. And so let's keep in touch.
I hope we have you back on here soon. Seriously, this was a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot from and I hope you guys also learned something, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because it's not very often you get to see a content creator of this caliber just casually doing a random stream with a peon like me. That's absolutely phenomenal.
We went into a lot of topics, and hopefully we covered all the questions. And so, yeah, next time maybe we can even get some more Q&As with the fans. But yeah, that was awesome, man. I'm glad you got some donations. Those whoever donated so far, that was epic. Thanks for supporting the stream and welcome, man. That was awesome. So
I wish my
that's how we do
freaking
it.
Streamlabs would work right now, but the last one was that Alaria thing 2 hours ago. It's not updating the feed. I don't know why. Seems like something
Weird.
always breaks.
Yeah,
like
okay.
my animations at the top of the screen have been bugging out. Too many things going on, but thank you very much, everybody, and thank you very much, Danny and BG, for being a part of this.
Thanks,
We do
both.
these live streams every Saturday night, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Saturday night, or Pacific Standard Time. We'll be here doing this stream again in the, obviously myself anyway. I don't know what I'm going to stream next weekend, but if it's a nice weekend, I'd like to get some Nerf modding done, so we'll see. And of course, thank you very much, Danny, for being a part of this. And of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different live stream. Have a good night, Brit Foam, David Bolak, Vesic, Nathan Wright, Solanese, Watt, JB72, Roxy Raccoon. Thank you very much, everybody. Seriously, Code Blizzard, Lanix Xavier Tasalia, Shane Bully, scrolling through here, Teal Scarab, Fowlin. Of course, our beautiful moderators like Classic For Real, and Hawkeye was in here earlier, Rapid Striker, Dave V. But thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Where's the button to end this? Oh no. Is it this one? It's this one.